Well, we've got to find it. We've got to keep looking, keep looking. How about you? Have you? Oh, my goodness. Have you? No, you haven't. All right. Anything over here? No, you haven't. This is outrageous. Never before in my entire career of banking has anything like this ever happened to me. It's inconceivable. It's preposterous. We are short 48 cents. But we are going to find it. And here, this staff, we are going to get our books balanced before the bank examiners get here tomorrow if we have to work all night.
All night?
Even longer if need be.
Oh, gee, Mr. Mooney, we might still be here when the bank opens in the morning.
Good! That might be a way to get you here on time. All right, God, I'll take care of this. I'll take care of this.
Gee whiz, Mr. Mooney, why don't you just tell the bank examiners that we're 48 cents short?
I, Theodore J. Mooney, admit to a bank examiner that I made a mistake? Never! I'd sooner commit Harry-Carry with that cheap letter opener you gave me for Christmas. Now get to work, get to work, get to work.
Gosh. I don't know why he just doesn't let the bank examiners find it. That's what they get paid for.
Lucy, get to work. The sooner we find it, the sooner we can go home.
Yeah, go home, go home. Be here all night looking for 48 cents. Doesn't Joan's hair look frightful tonight?
Just terrible. I've always
Don't
said
gossip. Count. Hey, Joan, it won't be long now. I slipped 48 cents of my own money in Vonda's till.
Lucy, that's terrible. It's not what...
Mooney? Oh, yes, sir.
Well, have you found it yet?
No, sir, but we're working on it.
Working on it. Mooney, I have been very disappointed in you lately. Now, there is no excuse for these constant errors.
I found it. The 48 cents is right here in this box.
Nice work, Vonda. Now we all get home in time for breakfast.
Well done, Miss Wilson.
Well, it's lucky for you they found it.
Oh.
I found it!
You found what?
I found my ballpoint pen. Oh, thank you, Henry. I've been looking all over.
No, I don't mean your pen, Mrs. Carmichael. I found the missing 48 cents.
It's too late, Henry. We already found that.
Hold it! Well, this is very interesting, Mr. Mooney. Now, let's all keep working. Maybe we can find it again. Mooney, what kind of a bookkeeping system are you running here?
Well, I'm sure this slight mistake can be rectified.
The only mistake that can be rectified is you. First you're under, then you're even, and then you're over. And now that I think of it, you're out.
Out?
Through.
Through?
Fired.
Fired?
Oh, Mr. Cheever, you shouldn't fire Mr. Mooney. It was all my fault. There was such a little bit missing that I took the money out of my own purse and put it in the till.
There, you see, sir, that explains it.
Mrs. Carmichael, do you really expect me to believe that an accredited member of this bank would dare to do such a ridiculous thing?
Oh, she would!
Honest, I did, Mr. Cheever. Everybody was so upset, I just wanted to help in my own little way.
Well, I'll say one thing for you, Mooney. You certainly have a loyal secretary. She's willing to lose her job in order to save yours.
Well, sir.
And you are just the type that would take advantage of this poor child.
Oh, please, Mr. Cheever, you've got to believe me.
Oh, yes, you've got to believe her.
Out!
Oh, please, Mr. Mooney don't go. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it. I'll straighten it all out. Oh, Mr. Cheever, you've got to believe me. It was all my fault.
How rare these days to find such loyalty. So loyal. So loyal.
Please, Mr. Cheever. It was my fault. Mr. Mooney?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Carmichael.
Oh, good afternoon. I wasn't sure what kind of a welcome I was going to get. I want you to know I'm terribly sorry for what I did, Mr. Mooney.
Please, Mrs. Carmichael, let's forget it. What's done is done. I learned a long time ago that when life strikes one a crushing blow, one must look toward the horizon, think of tomorrow, and not blame others for their misfortunes.
Oh, what a wonderful philosophy.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
But it isn't my philosophy! If it hadn't been for your underhanded tricks, I wouldn't be in this mess.
Now,
I wouldn't.
Mr. Mooney, take it easy. Take it easy. What?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Carmichael. Please, pardon that outburst. I really am trying to behave in a more mature manner. After all, you have to take the bad with the good.
That's right, sir. That's right. Oh. Tell me, how did Mrs. Mooney take the news?
Even in one's darkest hour, there can be a ray of sunshine. She packed up and went home to Mother. Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, you don't know what it's like to wake up in the morning and face rejection, unemployment, with time hanging heavily on your hands.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Mooney, you only got fired last night.
To me, it's been 1,000 years. I'm ruined.
Oh,
Just
no,
ruined,
you're not. You're not ruined.
I am ruined forever.
That's not so, Mr. Mooney. Now, you could get an executive position in lots of things. Manufacturing, insurance, or real estate.
Theodore J. Mooney in any business other than banking? Never!
No.
Banking is in my blood.
No.
I live, eat, sleep, banking. Oh, how I'll miss the intoxicating aroma of newly printed money. The thrill of seeing a frozen asset thaw.
Yeah, there's nothing more thrilling than a frozen asset. Well, now, look, you cheer up, Mr. Mooney. Everything's going to work out all right.
Oh, please, please, Mrs. Carmichael. No.
Yes, it is.
No. Just leave me alone with my scrapbook.
Your scrapbook?
Mumsy started it for me.
What's this?
That is the first poem I ever wrote.
Oh.
Yes, I was in the 3rd grade. Even then, I thought about banking.
Roses are red, violets are blue. We're taking your house, your loan's overdue.
Oh, I had such a bright future.
Yes.
Well, even in college, they voted me the man most likely to foreclose.
Oh.
Oh, that was my first little puppy.
Oh, your first little puppy.
Yes, I called her Escrow. Oh, well, that's all behind me now. I have nothing left but memories.
Oh, now, Mr. Mooney, you're going to have plenty more memories. I'm going to make Mr. Cheever give you your job back. I'm going to tell him how wrong he is.
Please, Mrs. Carmichael, get off my side. With your help, I could lose my pension.
Now, Mr. Mooney, it was my fault, and I'm going to get your job back.
Oh, no,
Yes,
please.
I am. Don't worry about a thing.
Please. Oh, what have I done?
Oh.
Lucy, I wish you'd stop worrying about Mr. Mooney. You've done all you possibly can do.
Oh, well, what burns me up is old Cheever won't even listen to me. He's moved into our office. He's taking over all of Mr. Mooney's work until he can find a replacement. And I've got to stop him before he does that.
Well, you've got to try to forget about it. Now, let's see what's on television. What movies are playing?
Mary Jane, I'm going to get Mr. Mooney's job back. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it.
Well, lots of luck. Oh, hey, Gaslight's on. I never saw Gaslight.
That's a good picture.
Oh, what's it about?
What?
What's it about?
Oh, let's see. Charles Boyer tries to convince Ingrid Bergman that she's seeing things that aren't there and isn't seeing things that are there.
You mean he plays tricks on her?
Yeah. He tries to get her to do the dipsy doodle.
The Dipsy Doodle?
Yeah, you know, flip her wig.
Oh.
Hey! That's what I'm going to do to Mr. Cheever.
Make him flip his wig?
Yeah. I'm going to get him to crack up. And I'll get Mr. Mooney to help me, and we'll give Cheever the gaslight treatment. Let's watch the picture. Maybe I'll get some pointers.
Seriously,
This is a good idea.
what you're doing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Oh,
Take
boy.
the chance.
Well, good morning, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good morning, Mr. Cheever. Oh, didn't you sleep well last night, Mr. Cheever?
Sleep well? Like a baby. Why?
Oh, I just thought you looked a little pale, a little peaked around the edges.
Me? No. I assure you I feel fine.
Oh, good. I brought you a little something to brighten up your desk.
Well, that's delightful. Thank you, Mrs. Carmichael.
You're very welcome. Oh, Mr. Cheever, does that picture look a little crooked to you?
Okay. Oh, it looks quite all right.
I just thought it looked a little screegy there. Something wrong, Mr. Cheever?
I thought I just lit a cigarette.
Oh, I didn't see you smoking, sir.
Oh.
Mr. Cheever, take a good look at that picture again. Don't you think it tilts to the left?
No. Oh, George looks all right. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, would you please bring me the Montgomery file?
Yes, sir. Here you are, sir.
Thank you. This is the Bradshaw file. I asked you for the Montgomery file.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir, but you asked for the Bradshaw file.
I know what I asked you for, Mrs. Carmichael. I said the Montgomery file.
Well, sir, you might have thought you said Montgomery, but it came out Bradshaw.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm positive, sir. Would you sign this letter, please, Mr. Cheever?
Oh,
Thank you. Oh, you forgot to sign it, sir.
I just signed it.
Then why isn't your name there?
But I'm positive I signed it.
So you might have thought you did, but you didn't.
Mrs. Carmichael, I don't know what's the matter with me.
Oh?
My signature, the Montgomery file, my cigarette. It's gone again.
Gone again?
Yeah. But never mind about it, but, you said that I looked peaked.
Well, yes, but it's probably just the strain of overwork. After all, in addition to all your own work, you've taken on all of Mr. Mooney's.
Yes. Yeah, well, that might be it.
But then, on the other hand, of course, it could be a guilt complex.
A guilt complex?
Yes, sir. For firing Mr. Mooney. deep down, you're probably very sorry you did that. And it's just getting you all confused and upset.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yes, sir.
And on that subject, take a letter.
Yes, sir.
Here you are, miss.
Oh, I just put it over there, boy. Some supplies I ordered, Mr. Cheever.
So now this letter will go to the Executive Placement Bureau. And it certainly shouldn't be hard to fill the shoes of that incompetent nincompoop Mooney. Gentlemen, pursuant to our conversation, I wish you would kindly
Sign
see
this,
that...
miss.
There you are, boy.
Kindly send over some applicants for the position of... Mrs. Carmichael,
Yes, sir.
did that delivery boy look like Mooney to you?
No, sir.
Well, you look like Mooney to me.
Well, that's a guilt complex for you. It'll do it every time.
Well, read back what I just dictated.
Yes, sir. Dear Mother, I am very upset and worried. We had this very nice vice president, and in a fit of anger, I unreasonably...
Stop! I said that.
Yes, sir.
But I couldn't have.
There it is. Dear Mother, dip, curve, loop, straight line, dip, squiggle, squiggle.
Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, I don't know what's come over me.
Excuse me, sir, I have to sharpen my pencil. There we are. I'm ready now.
Mrs. Carmichael, that man, did he look like Mooney to you?
What man?
That man.
Oh, that man. No. What would Mr. Mooney be doing in a full-dress suit?
Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, I don't feel too well.
Well, sir, I think you'd feel much better if you just rest your eyes for about half an hour.
Oh?
How would you like me to put a nice cold compress over them?
Oh, well, that would be very
Now,
nice.
you just swing around here.
Oh, thanks.
Relax.
Oh.
Lay back. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice cold compress.
What's that for?
That's to keep out all the distracting noises.
Thank you, yes.
Nice cold compress.
Oh.
Just make a new man of you. In half an hour, you'll feel wonderful.
Well, thank you, Miss Carmichael.
Okay. Half hour's up. Compress off.
What? Half an hour already?
Oh, yes. It's been a good 30 minutes. Are you feeling better?
Well, yes. Oh, that can't be. What, the whole room is changed. Mrs. Carmichael, you've changed.
I've changed.
You turned into a rabbit.
A rabbit?
Well, yes, and that plant, it's turned into a tree. Mooney! Mooney has turned into the father of our country.
Symptoms, Mr. Cheever, all guilt complex symptoms.
Oh, funny, oh, funny,
Good morning, Mrs. Colucci.
Buongiorno, bambino.
And how's Mr. Colucci and all the little bambines?
Oh, just a fine.
Oh, my pills. I've got to get my pills.
Mrs. Carmichael, if this works, I promise you a $10 a week raise.
A $10 raise?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mooney. Thank you.
Hey, don't make the goo-goo eyes. I'm a married woman. Please, no pinch of the cheek. You pinch of the cheek, I punch of the nose. I'm insulted. I leave.
As you say, it's a guilt complex. It's the only explanation.
Yes, Mr. Cheever.
Get Mooney on the phone and tell him to come back here before I go completely haywire.
Yes, Mr. Cheever. Now.
You called, sir?
How did he get here so fast?
So fast? Well, you asked me to call him an hour ago.
An hour ago? Oh, Mooney, you got your job back. And Mrs. Carmichael, if anybody wants me, I've gone away.
You're going away?
Yeah, far, far away.
Please, Mrs. Carmichael, please, forgive my familiarity.
That's
Oh,
all
you
right.
were just magnificent. It was a stroke of genius.
Thank you, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, I shall be forever indebted to you.
Oh, now forget it. I'm more than happy getting that $10 a week raise.
What $10?
The one you just promised me.
I promised you a $10 raise?
Yes, you did.
Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, come on. Now, you may be able to work that gaslight stuff with Mr. Cheever, but don't try to...
Colucci, the cleaning woman.
Me, a cleaning woman?
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, it must be your imagination.
No, it's not my
Or
imagination.
maybe you have a guilt complex.
Oh, Lucy, that was so good. It was so nice of you to invite me for breakfast, but you didn't have to go to all this bother.
Oh, what bother. Everything's frozen. The orange juice, my pancakes, your waffle, even the sausages. All I had to do was heat them up.
Yeah, it's a wonderful age we live in. Any food you want, you can get frozen.
Yeah, but it does have its drawbacks. Last week I ate a little too fast. Instead of getting heartburn, I got frostbite. Oh, I mustn't forget to water that plant.
Oh, hey.
What?
I never saw that plant before.
Oh, well, it's not mine. It belongs to Mrs. Stevens. I'm taking care of it for her for a few days. She's going out of town, you know.
Yes, I know. I'm keeping her dog.
Oh?
Yeah, he's a cute little thing. He's such good company.
Well, that may be, but the plant is housebroken.
So's the dog. He gets minutes of the morning paper before I do. Hey, I forgot I picked up your mail.
Oh, thank you, Mary Jane.
Here it is.
Oh, dear. Occupant. Nothing but junk mail. Oh, it makes me so mad. It's a waste of time reading this stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, and they spend so much money, and they're always advertising things you don't want. You know,
Yeah.
things you couldn't possibly use in your home.
Like last week, I got a free trial offer for 1 million earthworms. Now, what would I do with 1 million earthworms?
What would you do with 500,000 earthworms?
Oh, Mary.
Oh, you made such a mess.
Oh, darn.
Oh, Lucy.
What?
Oh, look what you did.
Oh, don't tell me I tore up a check. A bill, yes, but not a check.
No, it isn't a bill or a check. It's a personal letter.
How can you tell?
It's handwritten. It says, coming to Viz.
Coming to Viz? Coming to Viz? Somebody's coming to Viz me.
But who is it?
We gotta find out who it is.
Well, save that one.
Oh, here's a piece.
Yeah. What's it say?
It says, ill arrived too.
Oh, well, that means someone will arrive at 2 o'clock.
No, the word two is spelled with a capital T-U. That must mean Tuesday. It can't mean Thursday.
And today is Tuesday.
That means whoever's coming is coming today.
Oh.
We gotta find out who it
Here,
is.
save this one now.
Here's a piece.
What's it say?
7:30 p. That means they're coming at 7:30 today.
Tonight. Oh, that's good. At least you won't have to take off work to meet whoever it is.
Oh, now that you mention it, I better get to work or Mr. Mooney will kill me.
Get to work, Lucy. Where's your curiosity? How can you leave this unsolved riddle?
Who's leaving it? I'm taking it with me. Mr. Mooney will just kill me if I'm late again today.
I knew it.
Oh, Mr. Mooney, you knew what?
But sooner or later, you'd wind up cutting out paper dolls.
Oh, this. Well, there's a very good reason for this.
I know. You're a little early, but Happy New Year.
Oh, Mr. Mooney, no.
Now, does that have anything to do with bank business?
No, sir.
Then get rid of it. Did you finish filing those reports?
No, sir. I'll do it right now, sir.
No, you won't. I have to dictate some letters. Come. Hurry up. Now, you can finish filing tonight.
Yes, sir.
The first letter goes to Andrew and Gaines. Gentlemen, regarding your letter of the 31st,
Oh,
we would like...
Mr. Visitor.
Oh, a relative?
Well,
A friend? What's her name?
I don't know.
You're expecting a visitor? You don't know her name?
Well, come to think of it, I don't even know if it's a her.
Oh, it's a him.
I don't know.
You don't know! Mrs. Carmichael, it's got to be a him or a her. That's all there is.
Well, it could be an it.
If you don't mind, shall we continue?
Sir.
Where were we?
Well, I was just telling you why I couldn't work overtime tonight.
I don't mean that. I mean in the dictation.
Oh, the 31st.
31st.
Excuse me. Mr. Mooney's office. Oh, no, Mary Jane. No, I still don't know who the letter's from. Well, I haven't found any more clues. No, well, I had to stop looking because you know who came in. Well...
Mrs. Carmichael!
Oh, Mr. Mooney. You scared me half out of my wits.
Oh, don't ever give me an opening like that. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, remember, this is a bank, not a missing persons bureau. Come on. I would like to get just one letter finished before the bank retires me.
Yes, sir.
All right, Andrew and Gaines, gentlemen, regarding your letter of the 31st.
Yeah, oh.
We...
Goodbye, Mary Jane. again, Mary Jane. No, I still don't know who's coming to visit me. I haven't the faintest idea who it is. Well, I never found all the pieces of the letter. Yeah, I just got home. Well, I had to work late. I know it's past 8 o'clock. Look, even if Mr. Mooney let me off early, I wouldn't know whether to meet a bus, a plane, a train, or a dog sled. Anyway, anyone who wrote me the letter knows my address. Yeah, the doorbell. Someone at the door. Yeah, if it's my guest, I'll let you know. Coming! Aunt Agatha!
Well, Lucille, I'm glad you recognized me. Why didn't you meet me at the airport?
Oh, then you're it.
What do you mean I'm it?
Well, I got your letter, but I tore it up.
You tore it up.
Yeah, well, it was an accident. It was a big mix-up. What did your letter say?
I was coming to town for a short visit.
Oh, how short?
A month or two.
Oh, wonderful. How come you're not staying with Cousin Clara like you usually do?
Because Clara is a hypocrite. She only likes me for my money.
Oh.
You know, I'm seriously thinking of cutting her out of my will. Well, never mind about Cousin Clara. It's been years since we've seen one another. Let me take a good look at you, Lucille. Turn around. You look terrible. Thank goodness I'm not too late. I'll have you feeling better in no time.
But I feel fine.
No, you only think you feel fine. I can tell by the way you look, you're a wreck. And it's no wonder. You don't eat properly, you don't live properly, you don't even breathe properly. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is get some fresh air in here.
Oh, Aunt Agatha, I wouldn't open the windows if I were you. The nights out here in California are very chilly.
Oh, nonsense. Just look at all that fresh air out there.
I can't see it. The smog gets in the way.
Well, it's better than the stale air in here.
Oh,
And another thing, Lucille.
What?
I'm going to see to it that you eat properly.
Oh, really, Aunt Agatha? I eat fine. I have a very healthy appetite. What's all that?
That's health foods. We have carrot juice, blackstrap molasses, wheat germ, yogurt, potted papayas, powdered pollen, herb tea, and cod liver oil.
You sell that stuff?
I eat it.
You eat it?
Certainly. What do you think makes me look the way I do?
I wondered about that. I mean, you sure look great.
Well, certainly I do. And in a few weeks' time, with fresh air and proper food, I'll have you looking just as good as I do.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Now, let me get some sensible clothes. Your arches. And look at that skirt. Cover your knees. Do you want rheumatism?
Oh, I don't want rheumatism.
From now on, I'm going to see that you're clothed properly.
Well, now, Aunt
No,
Agatha.
don't thank me. I'm glad to do it. Better get settled. Where do I sleep?
Oh, well, in my bedroom, I have twin beds.
You mean I share a room? Oh, Cousin Clara always gave me a room to myself.
Well, on second thought, you can have the bedroom, and I'll sleep on the sofa.
You mean you'll have the television set instead of me?
Oh, well, no. I'll move the TV set into your room, and if I want to watch television, I'll just come in and watch it with you.
I won't have any privacy?
Well, look, you can have the television set and the bedroom all to yourself, and if I want to watch TV, I'll go up and watch in my friend's apartment.
And leave me here all alone?
Oh, don't worry, Aunt Agatha. We'll work something out. Come on, I'll show you your room.
Well, that will have to go.
What?
That.
It's just a plant.
Just a plant. It's a tropical monster. Do you realize how much oxygen this thing uses up? And the dirt in the pot is a breeding ground for germs. No wonder you look terrible. This will have to go immediately.
Well, now, I'd like to do as you say, Aunt Agatha, but that plant doesn't belong to me. I'm keeping it for a neighbor.
Oh. Well, then I'll have to spray it to get rid of the germs. That'll do it. Come on.
Oh, excuse me, the bedroom's right in there. Hello. Oh, hello, Mary Jane. I can't talk to you now. I got ants in my plants.
All right, Lucy, time to get up.
time is it?
But it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock? I didn't go to work. I missed the whole day.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning? Oh, well, I always sleep until 7.
Not anymore, you don't. You're going to take some exercises. Come on, Lucille. Come on, stand up on your feet.
What?
Exercises are good for people.
Exercises?
Earlier the better. Stand up there. All right, chest out, chin up, straighten up. Now, I think we better start with breathing. Take a deep, deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Why aren't you inhaling?
I can't. My lungs are still asleep.
I know just what will wake them up. Indian clubs. Swing the clubs all over the place. They give you charm. They give you grace. Now watch this. Strong body, strong mind. Throw the clubs and you'll unwind. See how simple that is? Now you try it, Lucille. Come along, dear. One in each hand. That's right. Stand up. That's right. Now, in tempo. Da, 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 dee. You're in worse shape than I thought.
Well, I need my rest, Aunt Agatha.
Oh, no, you don't. You need to have your blood circulating. Now, stand up. Straighten up there. Chest out. Now, we're going to do a lovely bending exercise. Watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend down and touch the floor. Do it with me, Lucille. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend down and touch the floor. 1, 2. Stay awake.
What?
Now, we're going to do our running exercise.
Running?
We're going to do the equivalent of 1 mile. Now,
1 mile?
okay, 2 miles. Left, right. Come on, left, right. Higher. And away we go. You talk about tired blood. You haven't got any at all.
Aunt Agatha, I get pooped out at work. Don't poop me out before I go in to get pooped out.
Exercise is invigorating. You'll put in a better day at the office. Now stand up, Lucille. Straighten up here. Straighten up. Chin up. Now, we're going to do our trunk twist. It's very good for the waist. Now, watch this. You raise the arms to shoulder height, and then you thrust. Sorry about that.
I think it's a little too much for the first morning. Let me break it gradually.
Younger generation can't take it.
Well, I admit it. Maybe I'll feel better after I make us some breakfast.
I've already had mine.
Oh, I hope you found the bacon and eggs.
I found them. I threw them out.
You threw them out?
They're pure poison. I made you a good, healthy breakfast. Come along. Come on, Lucille. You're going to enjoy this. Sit down. That's it. There.
What's that?
Well, that's wheat germ, soybeans, yogurt, blackstrap molasses, and a nice glass of lukewarm cod liver oil. Open your mouth and swallow it down. You'll be the healthiest girl in town.
I don't want to be that healthy.
Oh, yes. Now, Lucille, come on. Come on, Lucille. That's a good girl all the way. That's it, Lucille. There. Now. There.
That's good. Good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Good heavens, they've grounded Mary Poppins.
Well, I'm sorry about all this, but it's my Aunt Agatha's idea. She's the visitor I told you about yesterday. She's come to stay with me.
And she made you dress like that?
Yeah, and that's not all. She's a health nut. She makes me eat all kinds of crazy foods and wakes me up at 5 in the morning and makes me do exercises.
She sounds impossible.
Yeah, and I have to sleep on the sofa, and she took my bedroom.
She sounds obnoxious.
The only reason I put up with her is because she's very rich.
She sounds charming.
Well, she's not. All she's done since she arrived is bossed me around. She just orders me every place. I never seen anybody as bossy as she is. Well, she's even worse than you.
Mrs. Carmichael, let me give you a word of advice. Try to tolerate your aunt's eccentricities.
Well, I don't know if I can. She's nuts.
Mrs. Carmichael, when you are poor, you are nuts. When you are rich, you're eccentric.
Oh, boy, is she eccentric.
Well, let's try and get some work done, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Would you bring me the file on the Wilson account, please?
Yes, sir.
Lucille. Lucille.
This is my boss, Mr. Mooney.
How do you do, madam?
Any sweets or soft drinks in between, and you're to give her a 10-minute exercise break at exactly 4 o'clock. Now, Lucille.
Do you still think she's charming?
Yes, she has all the charm of a clogged-up drain.
In a few weeks, we'll have the healthiest wastebasket in town. You know, I don't object to her eating all those health foods, but why does she have to force me to eat them? I'm a steak and potatoes girl.
Then that's what you should eat.
I can't.
Immediately, and nip this female Cossack in the bud. Now you cook yourself a steak tonight.
I'll do it.
Good, good.
Oh, and Mr. Mooney, will you do me a favor?
What?
Will you come home with me tonight just to give me moral support?
I'd love to, but I have to take my wife to a rummage sale.
Again? You took her to a rummage sale last week.
Yes, but nobody bought her.
Agatha, what are those things spitting at me?
Well, those are vaporizers. They're to moisten the air so that every breath we breathe will be invigorating and healthy.
Yeah, well, I don't like the idea of them, see? I want to talk to you about something, and
Now,
Agatha.
we'll talk after dinner.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I want to talk to you about.
Not now. Dinner's waiting. And wait till you see the delicious menu I've prepared for you tonight. We have safflower oil with sesame seed salad, ground bone meal, and a seaweed souffle.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, because I am having a steak.
You're having what?
A steak. And tomorrow night, I'm having chops. And the night after that, I'm having breaded veal cutlet.
How dare you contaminate my refrigerator with that junk?
Your refrigerator. That is my refrigerator. And it is my apartment. And I will eat what my tummy wants. And those icky things and that.
I never had this trouble when I stayed with Cousin Clara.
Then why don't you go stay with Cousin Clara?
I'm thinking of cutting her out of my will.
I got a suggestion for you. Leave her in and cut me out.
Why, Lucille, you leave me speechless.
Well, it's about time somebody did. Look, just because you have money doesn't mean that you can run everybody's life.
Why, nobody in the family has ever talked to me like this.
Well, I'm doing it. Now, I don't need anybody to tell me what I'm going to eat, and I'm not going to wear these clothes. I don't like it. I think it's about time somebody told you that you can... You like it?
Yep, you've got spunk, you've got backbone. I only wish I had some money so I could leave it to you.
What did you say?
Lucille, the only way I manage to live is by mooching off my relatives. And if they knew I wasn't rich, they wouldn't let me stay with them. It's as simple as that. Lucille, I've been very lonely ever since your
it great, all this fresh air and sunshine? It's so refreshing and invigorating.
Yeah, well, I wish I could share some of your girlish enthusiasm with my feet.
Oh, forget about your feet. Enjoy this lovely little stroll.
Little stroll. Stanley didn't hike this far to find Livingston.
All right, you sit down, rest your feet, and I'll go get some refreshments.
Oh,
huh?
I'm for that.
Okay.
I am for that. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Sir, pardon me, sir. Sir, you're asleep on my back. Sir. Sir, I'm terribly sorry, but you fell asleep on my back.
I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right. I hope you found me comfortable.
Exceedingly so. It was like sleeping on a cloud. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
To me, every day is a beautiful day.
Oh?
Each morning I wake up and I come here and bask in the sunlight on my favorite bench.
Oh. Where do you live?
3 benches down.
Well, if this is your favorite bench, why do you live down there?
Well, if I lived here, I wouldn't have any place to go.
I see. Are you unemployed?
Oh, no.
No?
I'm out of work.
What's the difference?
Oh, if you're unemployed, you get insurance. Mine ran out a long, long time ago.
Oh. Well, what do you do when you do what you do?
Well, you name it, I've done it. Well, however, I have learned that earning a living gets in the way of living. It used to be that I'd work for a little while, save a few dollars, then I'd retire and enjoy it.
Well, now, I must say I like your philosophy.
But it's not that easy anymore.
Oh?
When I seek employment these days, the call seems to be for younger men.
Yeah, well, I think they carry that accent on youth too far. You certainly look like you're capable of doing a good day's work.
Thank you.
You speak very well, and you have a very nice personality.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm enjoying talking to you, Mr.
Snowden. Charles P.
How do you do, Mr. Snowden? I'm Lucy Carmichael.
How do you do? You know, you have a wonderful gift.
What's that?
You make a person feel like a person.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, here comes my friend.
Hi.
Hi, Mary Jane. I'd like you to meet Mr. Charles P. Snowden.
Oh, how do you do?
Mary Jane Lewis.
Well, if I'd known we were going to have company, I'd have bought 3 ice creams.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about me.
Excuse me.
It's all right if we go right ahead. Is that okay?
Of course, of course.
Oh, Mary Jane, how could you do such a thing?
What?
You got strawberry.
What's the matter with strawberry?
You know it always makes me break out in a rash.
Since when?
Mr. Snowden, do me a favor. You eat it.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Well, too bad, because I guess I'll just have to throw it away. With my luck, a policeman will probably come along and arrest me.
In that case. Just to keep you from having a prison record. I don't believe in giving ice cream a chance to melt. Thank you. It certainly hit the spot.
Yeah, and I have an idea that spot hasn't been hit very much lately. The truth now, Mr. Snowden, when was the last time you had a decent meal?
Well, I'll what day's today?
You are coming home with me, and I'm going to fix you a good home-cooked meal.
I accept.
Good.
But you hardly know me. You're taking an awful chance.
So are you. You don't know her cooking.
Mary Jane, come on, on, Mr. Snowden.
As I said, it's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. Mrs. Carmichael, that dinner was très magnifique.
Thank you.
And that pie. You know, I'd almost forgotten what homemade pie tastes like.
Well, keep trying to remember, because I got that at the supermarket. Come in. Oh, Mr. Mooney.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Carmichael.
Hello.
Something important came up. I want to talk to you
Oh,
about.
excuse me. This is Mr. Snowden. This is my boss, Mr. Mooney.
How do you do?
Very happy to meet you.
Mr. Mooney, Mr. Snowden's looking for a job. Perhaps you have something for him at the bank?
Oh?
Well, he does almost anything. You name it, and he's probably done it. We just met this morning. He was sleeping on a park bench, and...
On the park bench?
Yes. And
Well, I don't think we have any room at the bank for another Barney Baruch. Nothing personal, you understand, but business is business.
That's quite all right. I do understand perfectly.
Good. Speaking of business now, I'd like to get right at this, Mrs. Carmichael. I have a very important report here that I want you to type up right away.
But, sir, it is Saturday. It's my day off.
Good. That'll give you more time to concentrate.
Oh, could you excuse me for a few minutes?
No.
But I have to see the manager of this building before he leaves. Maybe he has a job for Mr. Snowden. I'll be right back. Come on, Mr. Snowden.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Mooney.
Naturally.
Come on, Mr. Snowden.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Lucy! Oh. Hey, Mr. Mooney, where's Lucy?
Miss Goody Two-Shoes just stepped out to seek employment for a park bum.
Did you meet him?
I had the dubious honor.
Well, he may not be just a park bum.
What do you mean?
Listen to this story in today's newspaper. Godfrey Collingwood, eccentric millionaire whose hobby is giving away money for acts of kindness, is reported in this area. And look, I think this picture looks very much like Mr. Snowden. A noted industrialist poses as a poor man in search of employment and then rewards whoever helps him with a cash gift of $20,000.
$20,000?
Yes. And doesn't that look like Mr. Snowden?
Not the slightest resemblance.
I thought the profile was identical.
Profiles can be deceptive. Sideways, I am often mistaken for Richard Burton. Of course, front face, it's Rock Hudson. Believe me, Snowden and this millionaire don't look a bit alike.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right.
Oh, I wouldn't mention this to Mrs. Carmichael.
Oh, why not?
Oh, well, why get the dear girl's hopes up?
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Well, okay, you tell Lucy I'll see her later.
Do you mind if I keep this? I haven't read Peanuts today.
Oh, sure, Mr. Mooney. I'll see you.
Yes, ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Park bum, indeed. Oh, you rascal, you. 20,000 lovely smackers buy a lot of cracker jackers. And I feel it landing in my lap. Plop, plop. Ti-ya-la-dee-da-dee.
Come on, Mr. Snowden. Better luck next time.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's right.
No job, eh?
No openings.
No opening. Oh, the saddest words in the world to a man of ambition and worth.
That's right.
But take heart, Mr. Snowden. Take heart. I think I can find a place for you in our bank.
Oh, really, Mr. Mooney?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I assure you, your kindness will be most appreciated.
Good. Oh, I have
have a splendid idea.
What's that?
I insist that you come home with me and be my house guest.
Your house guest?
Yes.
Oh.
The thought of this poor man spending another night on a park bench would trouble my conscience so much I wouldn't sleep a wink.
I am overwhelmed. But are you sure I wouldn't be imposing?
Mooney Manor is at your disposal.
Mr. Mooney, in my time, I have met some great gentlemen, but none to exceed your kindness.
Oh, I'm so glad you think so.
Oh, Mr. Mooney, this is a...
Oh, is that your luggage, Mr.
Yes.
Jones? Yes. Please, allow me.
Mrs. Carmichael,
Yes, Mr. Snowden.
perhaps I have sat on my last park bench.
I hope so.
And to think I owe it all to you.
To me? Yeah, this way, Mr. Snowden. Yes.
Goodbye, Mr. Snowden.
Be very careful now.
Goodbye.
Oh, by the way, Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes, sir?
It was very thoughtless of me to ask you to do that typing on a Saturday. Do it tomorrow.
Oh, gee, thank you, Mr. Mooney.
Quite all right.
Thank you. Wait a minute. Tomorrow's Sunday.
Bravo! You know the days of the week.
Oh, Mr. Mooney.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, hi.
Hey, where's Mr. Snowden?
Mr. Snowden?
Uh-huh.
You know, I've been thinking.
What?
We sometimes misjudge the people we see every day. We see only their faults. Then when they do something nice, we act surprised.
Who are you talking about?
Mr. Mooney,
Well, I asked you about Mr. Snowden.
I'm getting to that. You're not going to believe this, but Mr. Mooney is giving Mr. Snowden a job at the bank.
Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that hard to believe? And he even insisted on Mr. Snowden going home with him as his house guest.
His house guest.
Didn't want him out of his sight, just wanted to do everything he could for him. Aha.
Mm-hmm. Oh-ho.
Mm-hmm, uh-huh, oh-ho. Do you give English subtitles with that?
Lucy, you've been had.
What are you talking about?
Where's that newspaper?
What newspaper?
Oh, I forgot. I gave it to Mr. Mooney. Listen, while you were out, I came down here with the newspaper. And in it is a picture of an eccentric millionaire, a Mr. Godfrey Collingwood.
Yeah?
Well, it says he poses as a poor man and he gives away $20,000 to any person who is kind to him.
So?
So I said I thought the picture looked like Mr. Snowden.
My Mr. Snowden?
Yes. But when I showed it to Mr. Mooney, he said he thought there was no resemblance at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh-ho! Aha!
Now you know what that means.
Yes, it means I'm going to have to rescue Mr. Snowden from the clutches of that no-good Good Samaritan. I'll see you later.
That is delightful.
It is true, Mr. Mooney, it is true. Clothes do make the man. I feel like a millionaire.
I'll bet you do.
Done so much for me, I just don't know what to say.
Don't say a thing, my friend. Just enjoy my sincere hospitality.
This is a magnificent cigar.
Yes, it's imported, made especially for me. So are those cashmere socks.
Oh, they're wonderful. Just like walking on soap bubbles.
So, why don't you come over here, sit down, make yourself comfortable, and relax?
Thank you.
Yes. Now, back, relax. That's better. That's much better. Now, let me see. Upsy-daisy. Yes. Good. Now we're comfy, aren't we? Well, I'll be back in a jiffy with a libation.
This is too much, Mr. Mooney. I am not used to such luxury.
Of course you're not.
Mrs. Carmichael. This is a very pleasant surprise.
Thank you. Let me see your profile. If you didn't have such a cute nose, you'd be a millionaire.
What do you mean?
Read this.
After calling weeks, I agreed to be in city. $20,000 for an act of kindness.
Mr. Snowden, you are not that eccentric millionaire, are you?
Mrs. Carmichael, I wouldn't know what $20,000 looked like.
That's what I thought.
But I don't understand. What's this all got to do with me?
Well, now look, Mr. Mooney saw that, and he thinks that you...
Well, now, wait a minute. Mr. Mooney thinks that I...
Yes, and that accounts for his sincere hospitality.
Oh, for pity's sake. Well, I can't believe that.
Well, now look, I know him better than you do, and when Mooney smells money, he turns from Simon Legree into Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm.
When he finds out that I am not who he thinks I am, well, he's going to be, yes, he will. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, you're not. Now, you stay right here and pretend like I was never here.
But that was accepting all this under false pretenses.
What kind of pretenses do you think he's using? Now, he promised to give you a job.
And I want a job,
and
but
I'm going to see that you get that job. You just stay here, forget that I was here, and live it up.
Live it up. Live it up. Live it up.
Here we are. Wine. A little sherry to help make us merry. Oh, Mr. Snowden, you're not relaxing. Really, now, settle back, settle back. There, that's it.
I know. Up's a daisy.
Good, that's right. Now then, this is my private stock. I only drink it on special occasions, when I'm thirsty.
You've got quite a sense of humor, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, yes, I have been blessed. Humor, hospitality, generosity seem to go hand in hand. I haven't toasted you yet.
Oh, so you haven't?
No.
Let's start over again.
All righty, there you are, sir. To the bluebird of happiness, may she lay her golden eggs on all who are deserving.
You, Mr. Mooney.
Speaking of birds, here comes a cuckoo.
I thought you'd be around here. That's why I came through the patio.
Mrs. Carmichael, how nice of you to drop by.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed every moment of your visit. I'm so sorry you have to leave me.
I have some very important news for Mr. Snowden. I spoke to Mr. Griggs, the owner of the apartment house, and he has a marvelous job for you.
Has he?
Yes.
Mrs. Carmichael, remember, the Good Samaritan has already stepped in. I have offered him a job.
Oh, but Mr. Griggs is going to give him a very good salary.
What makes you think that I won't give him a good salary?
Well, for one thing, my salary. Mr. Griggs is willing to pay him $200 a week.
Oh, that chicken feed. I'll give him $250.
Mr. Griggs is willing to put it in writing.
Well, so am I. I'll even embroider it if you like. I'll give him a contract right now.
Is $250 a week all right with you, Mr. Snowden?
With that kind of money, I can buy my own park bench.
Here you are, Mr. Snowden. All signed. Nice promotion, eh? From bench to bank.
Mr. Mooney, I just don't know how I'm going to repay you.
Oh, you'll think of something.
Hello, Mrs. Carmichael.
Oh, hi, Mr. Snowden. Well, how are things going?
Wonderful, wonderful. After 30 years, my accounting experience is coming right back to me.
Isn't that great? Listen, do you think that Mr. Mooney might be getting a little suspicious? No?
He's positive I'm calling Wood the millionaire.
Good.
But he's certainly getting impatient.
What do you mean?
Here's little hints.
Like what?
Yesterday he asked me if I could think of a nice $20,000 birthday present for his wife.
Oh, no. How subtle can you get? Oh, I don't...
So long, Mrs. Cartwright.
Bye-bye. Mr. Mooney's office. Oh, hi, Mary Jane. Yeah, I got time to talk. What? Oh, well, so far, so good. Yeah, well, I've got to admit I'm getting a little worried.
Where is that carrot-top nincompoop?
I'm being paged.
You tricked me!
What are you talking about?
I just heard the millionaire Godfrey Collingwood interviewed on my car radio, and it was coming live from New York.
Why are you mad at me? I can't even get Pomona on my car radio.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do not know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
you do.
I do
you
not.
do. Yes, you do. I thought that Snowden fellow was Collingwood, and it's all your fault.
My fault? I never said he was.
You don't try to weasel out of this.
I'm not.
I met him in your apartment.
What's that got to do with it?
Don't worry, I'll take care of you later. But first, I'm going to throw that imposter out on his ear.
Now, you can't do that. You signed his contract yourself.
So what? I'll swear in court that my word isn't worth a tinker's damn. That imposter is through.
Oh.
Through.
Mooney, I want to talk to you about this man, Snowden.
Oh, well, sir, I was about to come to you.
You have pulled some boo-boos in your day, but this Snowden...
Yes, sir. Now, I
This
realize
man,
that...
Snowden, has made up for all your mistakes.
Well, I regret the entire incident, sir.
Hold it, boss. I think you're ahead.
What that man has done in 1 week is fantastic. Mooney, he is a genius.
A genius?
Yes. He has come up with a shortcut in our bookkeeping procedures that'll save this bank thousands of dollars a month. Oh, Mooney, where in the world did you discover this wonderful man?
In my apartment.
That had nothing to do with it. It was I who immediately recognized this man's talent and worth.
Well, I never thought the day would come when I would say it, but... Good show, Mooney.
When one is good and kind and does something for his fellow man.
Mr. Mooney!
In here.
Oh, there you are. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael. I want to thank you for giving up your weekend to come over here and help me catch up on my work.
Well, it's a pleasure, and I think you're being very fair paying me time and a half.
Better than that, you are getting portal-to-portal pay.
Portal-to-portal pay? What does that mean?
That means that your pay begins from the time you leave home.
Oh.
And when did you leave home?
When I was 16.
I mean this morning.
Oh, I left about 8 o'clock. I wanted to do some window shopping. Mr. Mooney, do you think I'd look good in a miniskirt?
Yes, I do. It would go with your mini mind. Mrs. Carmichael, let's get to work, shall we? First, I want to dictate an inter-office memo here.
All right.
Oh, before we start, would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I wouldn't want to bother your wife.
Oh, well, she isn't here.
Oh.
No, she's away at one of those reducing farms.
Oh, they're marvelous places. Has she lost any weight?
20 pounds.
20 pounds? That's wonderful.
Wonderful? That's just one chin.
Well, I'll go and make the tea.
Oh, Mr. Mooney, let me make it.
Oh, well, now, do you know where everything is?
Sure,
You can
I've
find
been
it?
out there lots
All
of
right,
times.
fine.
Ow!
What happened?
Oh, I just fell over that silly thing.
Are you all right?
Oh, I think so.
Well, let me help you out.
Well,
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, it's just a little.
No, don't move. Oh, we can't take any chances. I'll call my doctor.
Oh, now I don't think that's necessary.
You let me be the judge of that. You be quiet. Don't move. Hello, Doctor? Mooney. It's been an emergency. My slipper terry affected in cell. My secretary slipped and fell, Doctor. What? Well, just a moment ago. I'll ask her. How do you feel?
Well, I'm somewhat bruised, but otherwise I'm not hurt.
Oh. She hurt her somewhat and bruised her otherwise. Will you hurry over, Doctor, at my house? All right, I'll tell her, yes. All right, Doctor, hurry up. Now, he said to sit quiet until he gets here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be very quiet. You mustn't move. Don't move now. You be quiet. Just relax.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, hi. Come on in.
Oh, Lucy, what a beautiful room.
How about
you got.
this? Look.
And a view.
Yep.
And your own television.
Yeah, what'd you bring me?
Oh, a box of candy.
Thank you.
Gee, Lucy, I've been awful worried about you.
Well, you can stop worrying. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
There isn't.
No. Hey!
If there's nothing wrong with you, I get first pick.
Well, may I have one piece?
First, I bought it for you.
Kidding, silly.
Lucy,
What?
if there's nothing wrong with you, how come you're in the hospital?
I'm here for diagnostic analysis.
Diagnostic analysis, what does that mean?
It means the doctor needs the money. Yeah, they took all kinds of x-rays and tests and found out that there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to leave today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're just trying to figure out the bill, and they're going to bring me my release. That always takes such a long time.
Yes, in hospitals today, it takes them longer to figure out the bill than to figure out the disease. Boy, that bill must be a whopper, huh?
Well, I don't have to worry about it. Mr. Mooney said that the bank was going to take care of that.
Really?
Yeah, you know, he's been very nice. He sent me those roses.
Oh, aren't they beautiful?
Aren't they beautiful? And look, the bank sent these. Look.
Oh, isn't that nice? What kind of a settlement are they making?
Settlement.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a perfect lawsuit, you know. You fell in Mr. Mooney's house while doing work for the bank.
Well, it wasn't his fault.
Well, it was his house. My cousin is a lawyer, and Lucy, he can help you with
Mary
this.
Jane, I don't want to get mixed up with any lawyers for such a little thing.
Little thing, my cousin wins thousands of dollars for clients who have much smaller cases than this.
Yeah, but I don't like to sue
At
anybody.
least go and discuss it with him.
I wouldn't even know what to discuss with him.
He'll tell you what your legal rights are. Now, please, for my sake, go see him.
Well, all right.
Good. I'll make an appointment for you.
Okay.
I want to see if I can find another one. Here you are, Mrs. Carmichael. Here's your release from the hospital.
Hello, Wallace W. Wiley, attorney at law. He's in conference. One moment, I'll buzz him.
Hello, Wallace Wiley speaking. Hello, Mary Jane. No, Mrs. Carmichael hasn't come in yet. Now, don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Look, she's in good legal hands. I intend to sue for $1 million. That's right. And I won't settle for a penny less than 1,000. Now, Mary Jane, don't worry. Don't worry. They don't call me Wiley, Wally, Wiley for nothing. Goodbye. One moment. Come in, please. Oh, that's quite all right, sir. Yes, I'm very glad you called. Oh, anytime you want my legal opinion, I'm happy to give it, sir. That's right. Yeah. Oh, anytime you wish to call, please feel free to do so. Goodbye, sir. Oh, and incidentally, give my regards to Lady Bird.
Were you talking to the...
Please, that was a very confidential call.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to discuss it.
Of course.
Hotline.
Really?
Now, you are,
Lucille Carmichael, Mary Jane.
Oh, yes. Mary Jane asked me to handle your case as a favor to her.
Oh.
Well, you realize I'm a very busy man. In fact, I'm on my way now to have lunch with a Supreme Court judge.
Oh, well, I really don't want to sue anybody anyway, so let's just forget the whole thing, and I'm sorry that I troubled you.
Oh, it's no trouble at all.
Well,
Justice must be done.
Oh, well, I just don't want to waste your time with such a small case.
There are no small cases, only small lawyers. Now, if you'll just sit down, we'll discuss the details, huh?
Well...
There you are. Now, as Mary Jane explained it to me... Well, I'll get the next one. Mary Jane explained to me that you were working overtime at your employer's house, is that right?
Yes.
And you tripped and you injured yourself.
Yes, that's right, but I feel fine now.
You don't feel fine now.
But I do.
Now you don't. Believe me, Mrs. Carmichael, I know much more about these things than you do. Now, this may seem like a little matter to you, but you see, actually, the pain that you feel now may recur in later years, and you should definitely be compensated legally.
But I only took a little fall.
That's the worst kind.
It is.
That's the kind of fall that we call traumatic cerebral concussion.
What does that mean?
It means you hurt your head.
Oh, well, that's not the part I fell on.
Well, you tell me in your own words exactly what happened.
All right. I was at Mr. Mooney's house, and I was taking dictation, and I just got up to make some tea, and I tripped over this ottoman, and I took a little fall.
Because Mr. Mooney pushed you.
Oh, no, he didn't push me.
See, you don't remember. It is a concussion.
I do so remember. He did not push me.
Let me ask you another question, Mrs. Carmichael. The ottoman that was in Mr. Mooney's house, does it belong to him?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Then it was his fault. You see, we have a terrific case.
Well, I still don't feel that I should sue him.
We'll sue him for $1 million.
Oh, Mr. Mooney is my friend. I don't want to sue a friend. You know, money isn't everything, Mr. Wiley. $1 million? Maybe he did push me. Just a little. Yeah, it happened so fast, I'm not sure. I really don't remember.
It was a concussion. You don't remember.
Yeah, well,
it was his ottoman. It happened at his house,
Yes.
and he is definitely guilty of contributory negligence. Now, if you will just sign this agreement, we'll start to work on the lawsuit immediately.
Yeah, well, gee, I don't know. I've been working for Mr. Mooney for a very long time, and he is my friend, and I don't think it's right to sue a friend.
Oh, I can understand how you feel, Mrs. Carmichael, and your feelings are very commendable, but we're not suing Mr. Mooney personally.
Well, this paper says we're suing him.
Mere technicality. You see, actually, you were working with Mrs. Mooney on bank's business.
Yeah.
In effect, you are suing the bank. You see, there's nothing personal about this lawsuit.
Oh, well, if there's nothing personal about it, then I'll sign it.
You made a wise decision. I'm sure that you won't regret it.
I hope not.
One small minor matter, Mrs. Carmichael.
What's that?
I am handling this case on a contingency basis, which means I get paid out of the money that you win.
Oh, that's good.
However, there are certain preliminary expenses. I'll have to have a small retainer before I begin from you.
From me?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
$1,000.
$1,000? Well, I don't have that much money.
How much do you have?
$5.
I'll take it. Get the habeas corpus drawn up. We'll have all the writs and the briefs, and in no time we'll establish the modus operandi, and we'll be all set.
Oh, hi, Mary Jane. No, I haven't told Mr. Mooney yet, but I'm sure he'll understand that there's nothing personal in it. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell him as soon as he comes in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, my, it is certainly nice having you back.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back.
By the way, did you get those flowers I sent you?
Oh, yes, and I must say they were beautiful.
For what they cost, they should be.
Mr. Mooney, I want to discuss something with you.
Now, look, Mrs. Carmichael, if you are worried about money being deducted from your salary for the days you missed, forget about it. You are being paid in full.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. But what I wanted to discuss...
I know. You want to thank me for being so thoughtful. Well, I feel that if I am fair to my employees, they in turn will be fair to me.
Oh, yes, sir. However,
Mrs. Carmichael, please, can we get to work? Will you get your book, please?
But, Mr. Mooney, I just have to tell you
I don't want you to thank me anymore. I know I'm a nice guy. But it embarrasses me.
Yes, sir.
Here. Let's see, I have a letter here. The first letter goes to Burton and Irvine, 31 East 31st Street. Come in.
Mr. Mooney?
Yes, I'm Mr. Mooney.
Theodore J. Mooney?
Yes?
Here, this is for you.
What is it?
A summons.
Thank you.
A summons!
Oh, my nerve!
Mr. Mooney.
What?
Can I take my coffee break now?
No! A stupid idiot would do a thing like this. What is the meaning of this?
Well, I said I was trying to tell you, Mr. Mooney. I was trying to explain to you it's a lawsuit because of the accident I had in your home.
You're suing me?
Yeah, but...
Oh, you ingrate! You red-headed Benedict Arnold!
Mr. Mooney, let me explain. I'm suing you in name only. There's nothing personal in it.
Oh.
You do understand, don't you?
Yes, I do. I hope you will understand that there's nothing personal in this either.
In what?
You're fired!
You mean I'm really fired?
Yes! You're fired! Get out! Clear out!
And then he called me an ingrate and a red-headed ex-Benedict. And then he fired me.
Good.
What's good about it?
Not only can we sue him for contributory negligence, but now we've got him for libel, slander, and defamation of character.
I've never seen Mr. Mooney so mad. I thought he was going to punch me in the nose.
Oh, I wish he had. Yeah, then we could have got him for assault and battery, too.
Mr. Wiley, I'd just like to drop the whole thing.
What?
I want my job back. I can't blame Mr. Mooney for what happened. And it's wrong of me to sue a friend.
A friend, you say? You call this fiend a friend?
Well...
A man who did you bodily harm, and then he had the unmitigated gall to fire you? A woman your age?
What?
I mean, a girl who has aged beyond her tender years because of a series of unfortunate and calamitous events. He's no friend. He's a snake in the grass.
Oh.
I will drag this viper into court, and I will prove that after you gave him the best years of your life. Those were your best, weren't they? He cast you aside like an old shoe. I will prove conclusively that as a secretary to Mr. Mooney, you were loyal.
Yes.
You were hardworking.
Yes.
You were conscientious.
Yes.
You were honest.
Yes.
Competent.
You better leave that one out.
It doesn't matter when I get in the court, I'll wring that jury's heart. I will point out how this callous character cast you out into the cold, cruel world without a moment's notice. Did it bother this man that he was firing a girl who, as a result of injuries caused by his negligence, might not get another job? No, it did not.
No, it
Was he concerned that she might go homeless and hungry? No, he was not. Did it ever enter this monster's mind that this poor innocent girl would wind up an object of charity? No, it did not.
No, it did not.
Picture this poor defenseless girl with no food, no job, no home, and no one to turn to.
We'll sue the dirty rat for every cent he's worth. I'd like to
One more question. Mr. Mooney, despite the fact that my client suffered grievous injury and spent some time in the hospital, isn't it true that upon returning to work, her first day back at work, you fired her?
Well, you see, I had
Answer yes or no.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Very well, you may step down, Mr. Mooney. Call your next witness, Mr. Wiley.
I call Lucille Carmichael.
Will Lucille Carmichael please take the stand?
Oh, she's got to be kidding.
I object to these snide remarks.
Objection sustained. Sit down. Please, let's get on with the questioning. Bailiff, will you swear the witness in, please?
Yes. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Hold it. This I've got to hear.
Mr. Mooney, go back to your tape.
Well, do you?
I do.
Proceed, Mr. Wiley.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I will ask no questions of this poor innocent victim of circumstances. Just to look at her, we can all see how much she has suffered. Just look at her. Look at her. Just a few short weeks ago, she was a vibrant, beautiful, and healthy thing. And now, look at her. Look at her, I can't. I can't go on, Your Honor. Your witness.
Mrs. Carmichael, what is your occupation?
I am an unemployed secretary.
And where do you live?
780 Gower Street, if I haven't been evicted.
What is your age? Mrs. Carmichael, what is your age?
31.
31? You don't look 31.
Thank you, but I'm under oath, so I have to tell the truth.
Mrs. Carmichael, you are under oath. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the opinion of this court, any lady who is willing to admit to being over 30 must be telling the truth.
She wouldn't be telling the truth if she admitted to over 40.
It's enough out of you, Mr. Mooney. Sit down. Continue, Mr. Garfield.
Now, Mrs. Carmichael, isn't it possible that your alleged injuries are being magnified in your mind?
One more such outburst from you, and I will have you physically ejected from this court. Now,
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Carmichael, how long have you worked for Mr. Mooney?
3 years.
She's been in my office 3 years. She's worked 3 days. I mean, throw me out. I'm right. Wait a minute. Here, come on now.
Please, you can't do that to Mr. Mooney.
what do you mean I can't do it to him? He just insulted you again.
Well, I know, and that proves he's not mad at me.
What?
Well, he always yells at me and insults me. It's the only way I can tell he likes me. And if he still likes me, in spite of this phony lawsuit,
I object.
Quiet, just one moment, Mrs. Carmichael. Did I hear you say phony lawsuit?
Well, yes, Your Honor.
Hey, she's got a concussion. She's got a
Pray continue.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to sue you, Mr. Mooney, but when I heard I could collect $1 million, well, gee, I just got carried away. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And I'm willing to drop the whole lawsuit. All I want is my old job back.
I wouldn't give you your old job back if you were the
Mr.
last
Mooney,
secretary.
Please, give me another chance, please.
Well,
Please.
all right.
Oh,
But I'm going to deduct your days in court from your salary.
That's a boy. Yeah, he still likes me. Well, that takes care of everything.
I will tell you when you may step down. Get back up there. Sit down. You agreed before you committed perjury. Therefore, this time, I will give you only a reprimand.
Well, thank you, Your Honor.
But as for you, Mr. Wiley, approach the bench. You, sir, are a disgrace to the legal profession. Fortunately, attorneys of your ilk are few and far between. But I am warning you, sir. If you are ever again mixed up in such shenanigans as this, I personally will see to it that you are brought up on charges before the Bar Association.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, and I apologize publicly to the court, and I guarantee you my conduct will be impeccable in the future.
Very well. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, you may step down.
Thank you. And thank you very much, Your Honor.
Oh.
I really do appreciate it.
You pushed her! You also pushed her! Don't be You are hurt. Stay down, you terrible kid. You pushed her. Relax. Your mouth bleed a little bit. You pushed her. We'll sue for $1 million. Just stay down. You saw him push her.
In the luminous, meticulously ordered world of the First National Bank of Westwood as presented in this composite sequence from the 6th season of The Lucy Show, the ordinary machinery of American financial life is suddenly thrown into exquisite disarray by a discrepancy so vanishingly small that its very existence becomes the purest expression of comic disproportion. The episode opens upon a scene of controlled panic. Mr. Theodore J. Mooney, that towering embodiment of institutional pride and personal rigidity so perfectly realized by Gail Gordon, paces the floor with the measured fury of a man whose entire professional cosmology has been shaken. Never before in my entire career of banking, he declares, his voice rising in a rhetorical crescendo that mixes genuine alarm with theatrical self-importance, has anything like this ever happened to me? It's inconceivable, it's preposterous. We are short 48 cents. The sum is almost insultingly trivial. 48 cents would scarcely have purchased a modest lunch in the California of 1967, yet in Mooney's universe it represents a catastrophic breach in the sacred order of balanced ledgers and inviolable accountability. The bank examiners are expected the following morning. The books must be made whole before their arrival, even if the entire staff must remain through the night. If we have to work all night, Mooney insists, all night, even long if need be. The phrasing itself, with its slightly awkward repetition, already hints at the character's mounting agitation and the writer's deft ear for the rhythms of exasperated authority. Lucille Ball's Lucy Carmichael moves through this scene with the familiar mixture of wide-eyed concern, impulsive practicality, and barely suppressed amusement that had become her signature by this late stage of the series. She watches the frantic searching, the whispered consultations, the increasingly desperate counting of coins and bills. And she cannot help but voice the obvious question that no one else dares to ask. Why not simply tell the bank examiners that the books are short by 48 cents? After all, discovering such discrepancies is precisely what examiners are paid to do. Mooney's response is instantaneous and absolute. I, Theodore J. Mooney, admit to a bank examiner that I made a mistake. Never. I'd sooner commit Harry Terry with that cheap letter opener you gave me for Christmas. The line is a small masterpiece of character revelation. It encapsulates Mooney's almost religious devotion to the appearance of infallibility, his willingness to equate a trivial arithmetic error with a mortal sin, and his long-standing affectionately antagonistic relationship with Lucy, who is simultaneously the source of his greatest frustrations, and the one person who understands him most completely. Ball's reaction, a brief widening of the eyes, a subtle lift of the brows. A soft exhalation that registers both disbelief and fond recognition conveys volumes without a single word. In that fleeting expression one sees the entire history of their partnership, the countless schemes, the endless reprimands, the underlying loyalty that neither will openly acknowledge. The physical comedy of the opening sequence remains relatively restrained, yet it is already richly suggestive of the larger chaos to come. Staff members scurry from desk to desk opening drawers, checking tills, muttering calculations under their breath. Lucy herself participates in the search with a kind of distracted diligence, her movements slightly out of sync with the others, her attention periodically drifting toward the human comedy unfolding around her. When she confides to a colleague that she has solved the problem by slipping 48 cents of her own money into Banda's, till the moment is played with exquisite understatement. I slipped 48 cents of my own money in Banda's, till she says almost casually, as if reporting a minor household errand. The colleague's reaction, "That's terrible," is met with Lucy's serene conviction that she has merely restored order and allowed everyone to go home for breakfast. Here, in microcosm, is the central comic engine of Lucy Carmichael's character. She is neither purely altruistic nor purely mischievous. She is a woman whose desire to help is so powerful and whose understanding of institutional protocol so cheerfully incomplete that her interventions invariably create new and larger complications. The 48 cents she contributes is genuine. Her intention is genuine. The resulting double discovery of the missing sum is pure farce. The sequence builds with the patient architectural precision that distinguished the best writing of The Lucy Show in its later seasons. Mooney continues to berate the staff, expressing his deep disappointment in recent errors and the absence of any excuse for such constant carelessness. Then comes the first triumphant announcement: the 48 cents has been found in a box. Relief floods the room. Mooney offers rare praise. The staff prepares to depart. At precisely this moment, a second claim is made. Lucy's private contribution has created the appearance of an excess rather than a shortage. The books which had briefly balanced are once again thrown into confusion. The arrival of Mr. Cheever, the formidable bank executive, whose presence looms over the entire arc, transforms the comic inconvenience into genuine professional catastrophe. Cheever surveys the chaos with cold disdain and delivers the judgment that will propel the remainder of the story. Mooney is fired. "The only mistake that can be rectified is you," he declares. "First you're under, then you're even, and then you're over, and now that I think of it, you're out. Out. Through. Fired. The repetition is deliberate and devastating. Gail Gordon's Mooney receives the news with a mixture of stunned silence and the beginnings of a profound personal unraveling that will be explored in subsequent scenes. What elevates this opening beyond mere situational comedy is the depth of characterization and the quiet social observation embedded within it. Mooney's horror at the 48-cent shortage is not simply bureaucratic rigidity. It is the expression of a man whose entire identity is bound up with the idea of perfect order. Banking for him is not a job but a vocation, almost a secular religion. Later, he will confess that he lives, eats, and sleeps banking. That he will miss the intoxicating aroma of newly printed money and the thrill of seeing a frozen asset thaw. These lines, delivered with Gordon's characteristic blend of pomposity and unexpected vulnerability, reveal a character of surprising pathos. Lucy's decision to cover the shortage with her own money is equally revealing. She cannot bear the spectacle of collective anxiety over so small a sum. Her intervention is an act of emotional pragmatism. She restores calm at the cost of a minor ethical breach. In the cultural context of the late 1960s, the sequence gently satirizes the growing tension between institutional formality and ordinary human common sense. Corporate America was becoming increasingly bureaucratic. The ordinary citizen's impulse to just fix it often collided with systems that prized procedure over practicality. Lucy embodies that collision with unmatched comic grace. Lucille Ball's performance in these early moments is a master class in the art of restrained physical comedy and expressive facial acting. She does not yet engage in the elaborate slapstick that will characterize later sequences. Instead, she works primarily with the eyes, the tilt of the head, the subtle shifts of posture that telegraph internal calculation. When she realizes that her private contribution has complicated rather than resolved the crisis, a flicker of dismay crosses her face, quickly replaced by the familiar determination to set things right once more. The audience understands even before Lucy herself fully articulates the plan that she will not accept Mooney's dismissal as final. The seeds of the elaborate gaslighting scheme are already present in her refusal to allow a small act of loyalty to result in permanent injustice. The writing itself deserves particular praise for its economy and its ear for the rhythms of workplace conversation. The dialogue moves fluidly between Mooney's formal proclamations, the hurried asides of the staff, and Lucy's more colloquial interjections. The repeated insistence that the books must be balanced before the bank examiners get here tomorrow creates a ticking clock structure that lends urgency to even the most trivial actions. The comic payoff of the double discovery is carefully prepared and perfectly timed. When Henry announces that he has found the missing 48 cents only to be told that it has already been found, the ensuing confusion is both logical and delightfully absurd. The audience is invited to share Lucy's private knowledge while simultaneously appreciating the mounting bewilderment of everyone else. In the broader history of American television comedy, this sequence stands as a fine example of the way The Lucy Show continued to refine the character-driven farce that Lucille Ball had perfected more than a decade earlier. The situation is small, almost microscopic, yet the emotional and professional stakes are made to feel enormous. The humor arises not from cruelty or exaggeration for its own sake, but from the collision of incompatible temperaments and the stubborn persistence of human loyalty in the face of institutional rigidity. Lucy's well-intentioned cover-up is the purest expression of her character. She sees a problem, she acts to solve it, and in doing so, she sets in motion a chain of events far larger than she anticipated. The 48 cents is insignificant, the consequences are not. That disproportion rendered with affection, precision, and deep understanding of both character and form is the essence of the comedy that follows. The scene also offers a quiet meditation on the nature of work and identity in mid-century America. Mooney's inability to conceive of himself outside the world of banking is both comic and touching. When he later examines his scrapbook containing a childhood poem about overdue loans and a photograph of a puppy named Escrow, the audience is invited to see the man beneath the banker. Lucy's impulsive generosity, by contrast, reflects a different set of values. The belief that human relationships and practical kindness matter more than perfect ledgers. The tension between these two worldviews fuels the entire narrative arc. In the opening sequence, that tension is introduced with remarkable subtlety and control. The stage is set for the elaborate psychological comedy of the gaslighting campaign, the domestic farce of Aunt Agatha's arrival, the mistaken identity plot involving Mr. Snowden, and the final courtroom chaos. All of it begins here. With 48 cents and a secretary who could not bear to see her employer humiliated over so small a sum. Lucille Ball's genius lay in her ability to make such small beginnings feel consequential without ever sacrificing the essential lightness of the form. She understood that the audience's affection for Lucy Carmichael rested on the character's fundamental decency, even when that decency expressed itself through schemes and deceptions. The cover-up of the 48-cent shortage is not a crime. It is an act of loyalty performed with the cheerful confidence that good intentions can override rules. That the act immediately backfires is the source of the comedy. That Lucy never abandons her determination to repair the damage is the source of the character's enduring appeal. In this opening sequence, the audience is reminded once again why Lucille Ball remained more than 15 years after the debut of I Love Lucy, the preeminent comic actress of American television. She could turn a missing 48 cents into the foundation of an entire evening of laughter, character revelation, and gentle social observation. The achievement is as modest in appearance as the sum that occasions it and as substantial in effect as the finest work of the form. The moment of Mr. Mooney's dismissal arrives with the force of a carefully prepared detonation, and the sequence that follows ranks among the most emotionally layered and comically precise passages in the entire composite. Mr. Cheever, the bank's senior executive, surveys the chaotic aftermath of the double discovery of the 48 cents with an expression of cold bureaucratic contempt. The books which had briefly promised balance, now appear to have produced an excess. And the resulting confusion is more than sufficient to confirm every suspicion Cheever has ever harbored about Mooney's competence. What kind of a bookkeeping system are you running here? He demands, the question itself already an indictment. Mooney, still clinging to the hope that the matter can be explained as a minor clerical irregularity, offers a tentative defense. Well, I'm sure this slight mistake can be rectified. Cheever's reply is instantaneous and lethal. The only mistake that can be rectified is you. First, you're under, then you're even, and then you're over, and now that I think of it, you're out. Out. Through. Fired. The repetition is deliberate, each word landing like a successive hammer blow. Gail Gordon receives the verdict with a stillness that is more eloquent than any outburst. The camera lingers on his face long enough for the audience to register the slow collapse of a man whose entire professional identity has been stripped away in a single merciless sentence. Lucille Ball's Lucy Carmichael reacts with the instantaneous full-bodied loyalty that defines her character at its most endearing. She steps forward, her voice rising in urgent protest. "Oh, Mr. Cheever, you shouldn't fire Mr. Mooney. It was all my fault. There was such a little bit missing, and I took the money out of my own purse and put it in the till there." The confession is delivered with the earnest sincerity of a child admitting to a misdeed in the hope of protecting a friend. Ball's physical performance in this moment is a study in controlled desperation. Her hands move restlessly, her posture leans forward as if she might physically interpose herself between Mooney and the judgment that has already been rendered. Cheever's response is pure institutional disdain. He refuses to believe that an accredited member of the bank would commit so ridiculous an act. And he interprets Lucy's confession as further evidence of Mooney's poor judgment in surrounding himself with unreliable subordinates. "Well, I'll say one thing for you," Mooney Cheever observes with icy sarcasm, "you certainly have a loyal secretary. She's willing to lose her job in order to save yours. And you are just the type that would take advantage of this poor child." The accusation is doubly wounding. It dismisses Lucy's agency, while simultaneously painting Mooney as a manipulator who exploits the very loyalty he inspires. The scene's emotional temperature rises as Lucy continues to plead, her voice breaking with the force of her conviction. "Oh, please, Mr. Cheever, you've got to believe me. Honestly, I did. Everybody was so upset. I just wanted to help in my own little way." Ball's delivery of these lines is a master class in the art of comic pathos. She never allows the moment to tip into genuine tragedy. The humor remains present in the sheer disproportion between the 48-cent cause and the catastrophic effect. Yet the audience is never permitted to forget the real cost to Mooney's dignity and livelihood. When Cheever finally turns away, dismissing both of them with the finality of a man who has already moved on to the practical problem of finding a replacement, Lucy's desperation reaches its peak. She clutches at Mooney's arm, insisting that Cheever does not mean it, that she will straighten everything out. The physicality of her clinging the way she positions herself as a human barrier between Mooney and the door speaks to the depth of her attachment. In that gesture one sees the entire history of their relationship, the years of mutual exasperation, the endless schemes, the unspoken recognition that each has become indispensable to the other's daily existence. The aftermath of the firing is handled with remarkable sensitivity and comic inventiveness. The following scene finds Lucy visiting Mooney at his home, where the once imposing banker has retreated into a state of almost theatrical despair. He has begun to examine the scrapbook. His mother started for him a document that becomes both a repository of lost ambitions and a vehicle for some of the episode's most delicately observed humor. Even in one's darkest hour, Mooney intones with the solemnity of a man delivering a eulogy for his own career. There can be a ray of sunshine. The ray, it turns out, is the news that Mrs. Mooney has packed up and gone home to mother. The laugh that follows is pure Gale Gordon, a short bitter bark that acknowledges the comedy of his situation while refusing to surrender its pathos. Lucy attempts to comfort him with the practical suggestion that he might find executive positions in manufacturing, insurance, or real estate. Mooney's rejection is absolute and revealing. Theodore J. Mooney in any business other than banking. Never. No. Banking is in my blood. I live, eat, sleep banking. The confession is both comic and deeply touching. Gordon allows the audience to see the man who has constructed his entire identity around the rituals and aromas of the banking world. The man who will genuinely miss the intoxicating aroma of newly printed money and the thrill of seeing a frozen asset thaw. Lucy's deadpan response, "Yeah, there's nothing more thrilling than a frozen asset," provides the perfect comic counterpoint, yet it never undercuts the sincerity of Mooney's grief. The scrapbook sequence itself is a small gem of character writing and performance. Mooney turns the pages with the reverence of a man reviewing the evidence of a life that has suddenly been declared null. He shows Lucy the first poem he ever wrote, composed in the 3rd grade and already obsessed with banking. Roses are red, violets are blue, we're taking your house, your loan's overdue. The absurdity of a child producing such a verse is rendered with perfect comic timing. Yet the moment also underscores the lifelong consistency of Mooney's vocation. He displays a photograph of his first puppy named Escrow, and the audience is invited to laugh at the incongruity while simultaneously recognizing the genuine affection that once animated this rigid man. When he declares that he has nothing left but memories, Lucy's response is characteristic. She refuses to accept the finality of his despair. She announces that she will make Mr. Cheever give him his job back, that she will tell him how wrong he is. Mooney's panicked reaction, "Please, Mrs. Carmichael, get off my side with your help. I could lose my pension," now reveals both his fear of further complications and his deep reluctant reliance on the very woman whose schemes so often threaten his equilibrium. The scene with Mary Jane that follows provides a necessary breathing space and a reminder of the domestic world that Lucy inhabits when she is not navigating the corridors of the bank. Mary Jane attempts to distract her friend with television listings, but Lucy's mind remains fixed on the problem of Mooney's dismissal. The discovery that Gaslight is playing on television becomes the catalytic moment that will shape the remainder of the arc. Lucy's summary of the film's plot: Charles Boyer tries to convince Ingrid Bergman that she's seeing things that aren't there and isn't seeing things that are there, is delivered with the wide-eyed enthusiasm of a woman who has just recognized the perfect template for her own scheme. The decision to give Cheever the gaslight treatment is reached with the same impulsive certainty that led her to cover the 48-cent shortage. Ball's physical performance in this moment is electric. The sudden spark of inspiration, the rapid calculation of possibilities, the growing determination that transforms her posture from defeated to purposeful. The audience understands that Lucy has found not merely a plan but a mission, and that the mission is animated by the same loyalty that caused the original crisis. What makes this entire sequence so richly rewarding is the way it balances broad comedy with genuine emotional stakes. The firing of Mooney is played for laughs, the exaggerated language, the rapid-fire repetition of out and through and fired, yet the consequences are never allowed to feel trivial. Gordon's performance ensures that the audience registers the real wound to Mooney's pride and identity. Ball's Lucy, for her part, is never reduced to a mere comic engine. Her loyalty is presented as both ridiculous and admirable, a force that will drive her to increasingly elaborate and dangerous lengths. The supporting characters, particularly Mary Jane, function as a kind of Greek chorus, offering practical counsel that Lucy will inevitably ignore in favor of her own more dramatic solutions. In the cultural context of the late 1960s, the sequence also offers a quiet commentary on the precariousness of middle-class professional identity. Mooney's entire sense of self is bound up with his position at the bank. The loss of that position precipitates a crisis that is simultaneously comic and existential. Lucy's determination to restore him to his proper place reflects a broader cultural faith in the possibility of personal intervention against institutional indifference. The fact that her intervention takes the form of an elaborate psychological campaign only heightens the comedy. The underlying impulse remains recognizably human and in its way deeply moral. The writing continues to demonstrate the series' mastery of comic construction. Each beat is carefully prepared, each payoff earned. The transition from the bank to Mooney's home to Lucy's living room is handled with seamless efficiency, allowing the emotional temperature to rise and fall in a rhythm that keeps the audience fully engaged. The introduction of the gaslight motif is particularly elegant. What begins as a casual glance at the television listings becomes the structural foundation for the entire next phase of the story. The audience is invited to share Lucy's excitement while simultaneously anticipating the elaborate physical and psychological comedy that will follow. Lucille Ball's achievement in these scenes lies in her ability to make Lucy's loyalty feel both completely understandable and completely absurd. The audience never doubts that she genuinely cares for Mooney, even as it recognizes that her methods will almost certainly create new and larger problems. That dual awareness, affection for the character's intentions combined with gleeful anticipation of the chaos those intentions will produce, is the essence of the comic contract that The Lucy Show maintained with its viewers across 6 seasons. In the sequence of Mooney's firing and its immediate aftermath, that contract is honored with uncommon skill and warmth. The 48 cents has done its work. The stage is set for the gaslighting campaign, and Lucille Ball, with Gail Gordon as her indispensable foil, stands ready to transform a moment of professional humiliation into one of the most inventive and affectionate comic set pieces of her later career. The depth of the relationship between Lucy and Mooney is nowhere more apparent than in the quiet moments that follow the explosion of Cheever's judgment. When Lucy arrives at Mooney's home, she finds a man who has already begun the process of mourning his own career. The scrapbook becomes a kind of secular reliquary, each page a reminder of the identity he is now forced to abandon. Gordon plays these moments with a restraint that allows the comedy to emerge from character rather than from external business. The poem about the overdue loan, the puppy named Escrow, the college vote as the man most likely to succeed, each detail is allowed to breathe, and each contributes to a portrait of a man whose life has been lived in the service of a single, all-consuming vocation. Lucy's attempts to console him are characteristically practical and characteristically doomed. She suggests alternative careers, he rejects them. She offers philosophical platitudes, he undercuts them with the bitter observation that the philosophy is not his own. The exchange is a perfect illustration of the way the series could move between broad farce and quiet character comedy without ever losing its essential tone of affectionate observation. The introduction of the gaslight plan marks the transition from reaction to action, and it is handled with the same attention to psychological detail that distinguishes the preceding scenes. Lucy does not simply decide to trick Cheever. She arrives at the decision through a process of observation and analogy that feels entirely consistent with her character. The film's plot provides her with a ready-made strategy, and her enthusiasm for the idea is infectious. Ball's performance in the moment of inspiration is a reminder of why she remained the preeminent comic actress of her generation. She could make the audience believe that a scheme as elaborate and potentially dangerous as the gaslighting of a bank executive was the most natural and necessary response to an injustice. The loyalty that led her to cover the 48-cent shortage now propels her toward a far more ambitious and theatrical form of intervention. The continuity of character is absolute. Only the scale of the action has changed. In the end, the sequence of Mooney's firing, and its immediate consequences, stands as a model of how classic American sitcom writing could extract maximum comic and emotional value from a seemingly trivial premise. The 48 cents remains the originating cause, yet the audience has long since forgotten the sum itself in favor of the human relationships it has set in motion. Lucille Ball and Gail Gordon, working with material that understands both the absurdity and the sincerity of their characters, create a sequence that is at once hilarious and genuinely moving. The humiliation of Mooney is real, the loyalty of Lucy is real. The determination to reverse the injustice is real. That all of this can coexist with sustained laughter is the measure of the series' achievement and of the performer's extraordinary skill. The stage is now fully prepared for the psychological warfare that will occupy the next phase of the story, and the audience, thoroughly invested in both the characters and their predicament, is ready to follow Lucy Carmichael into the Paris elaborate, affectionate chaos that is her natural habitat. The decision to subject Mr. Cheever to the gaslight treatment emerges from one of those spontaneous television-inspired epiphanies that had long been a hallmark of Lucille Ball's comic persona, and the sequence in which the plan is conceived and set in motion ranks among the most inventively structured and character-rich passages in the entire composite. Seated in her living room with Mary Jane, Lucy idly consults the television listings and discovers that the classic 1944 film Gaslight is scheduled to air. Her summary of the plot is delivered with the wide-eyed precision of a woman who has just recognized a perfect operational blueprint. Charles Boyer tries to convince Ingrid Bergman that she's seeing things that aren't there and isn't seeing things that are there, she explains. Mary Jane, ever the practical foil, asks whether this means the husband plays tricks on his wife. Lucy's confirmation is immediate and enthusiastic. He tries to make her do the dipsy doodle to flip her wig. The colloquial phrasing is pure Lucy Carmichael translating the psychological cruelty of the original film into the more playful, almost affectionate language of 1960s situation comedy. In that translation lies the essential difference between the source material and the adaptation Lucy is about to undertake. Where the film's gaslighting is an act of calculated malevolence designed to drive a woman to madness for the sake of hidden jewels, Lucy's version is an act of loyalty designed to restore a wrongfully dismissed man to his proper place. The moral polarity is reversed. Yet the mechanical principles remain the same. Systematically undermine the target's confidence in his own perceptions until he begins to question his sanity. The moment of inspiration is rendered with Ball's characteristic physical eloquence. As the idea takes hold, her posture changes. The slight slump of defeat that had accompanied her earlier conversation about Mooney's firing disappears. Her spine straightens, her eyes brighten, and a small determined smile begins to form. She announces the plan with the triumphant certainty of a general who has just identified the enemy's vulnerability. "That's what I'm gonna do to Mr. Cheever. Make him flip his wig. I'm gonna get him to crack up, and I'll get Mr. Mooney to help me, and we'll give Cheever the gaslight treatment." The decision to enlist Mooney is both practical and psychologically astute. Lucy understands that the campaign will require an accomplice who can move freely within the bank and whose own recent humiliation provides powerful motivation. More importantly, she recognizes that Mooney's participation will transform the scheme from a solitary act of revenge into a shared enterprise binding the two of them more tightly in the face of institutional injustice. The subsequent scene in which Lucy recruits Mooney is a master class in the comic negotiation of power and reluctance. Mooney, still reeling from his dismissal and already nursing the wounds to his professional identity, initially greets the proposal with the wariness of a man who has endured too many of Lucy's schemes. Yet the prospect of reclaiming his position proves stronger than his caution. The writers allow the audience to observe the gradual erosion of his resistance as Lucy outlines the strategy. She will begin with small, almost imperceptible disruptions. A picture that appears slightly crooked, a cigarette that vanishes after being lit, a file that is delivered under the wrong name, a signature that mysteriously fails to appear on a document. Each incident will be accompanied by Lucy's solicitous concern for Cheever's health and her gentle suggestion that the symptoms may be the result of a guilt complex arising from the unjust firing of a loyal subordinate. The cumulative effect, she assures Mooney, will be the gradual disintegration of Cheever's confidence in his own senses and ultimately the restoration of Mooney to his desk. What elevates the conception of the scheme beyond mere plot mechanics is the depth of psychological insight it reveals about both principal characters. Lucy's plan is not simply a practical solution to a professional problem. It is an expression of her fundamental belief that justice can be manufactured through ingenuity and persistence. She has always operated on the assumption that the world is malleable, that rules and hierarchies can be bent by sufficient cleverness and sufficient will. The gaslighting campaign represents the purest distillation of that philosophy. Mooney, by contrast, approaches the enterprise with the residual dignity of a man who still regards himself as a serious professional even while participating in an elaborate practical joke. His willingness to collaborate signals both his desperation and his reluctant acknowledgement that Lucy's methods, however unorthodox, have a higher success rate than his own more conventional appeals to reason and procedure. The early stages of the campaign are executed with a precision that demonstrates the writer's understanding of how psychological pressure accumulates. Lucy arrives at the bank the following morning with a carefully calibrated performance of solicitous concern. She remarks that Cheever looks a little pale, a little peaked around the edges. When he insists that he feels fine, she accepts the denial with an exaggerated brightness that already plants the first seed of doubt. She then draws his attention to a picture on the wall, asking whether it looks a little crooked. Cheever examines it and declares that it appears quite all right. Lucy persists, suggesting that it tilts to the left. When Cheever looks again and finds it satisfactory, she allows the matter to drop, but the damage has been done. The audience understands that the picture has been deliberately adjusted between glances. And Cheever's momentary uncertainty is the first crack in the edifice of his self-assurance. The cigarette sequence that follows is a small masterpiece of timing and physical comedy. Lucy observes Cheever lighting a cigarette and then, while his attention is diverted, removes it. When he reaches for it and finds it gone, she expresses mild surprise that she did not see him smoking. The moment is played with exquisite restraint. Ball does not oversell the deception, she allows the absence of the cigarette to speak for itself. And she meets Cheever's confusion with an expression of polite concern that only deepens his disorientation. The file mix-up is handled with similar economy. Cheever requests the Montgomery file, Lucy delivers the Bradshaw file, and when corrected insists with absolute conviction that he asked for Bradshaw. The exchange is a perfect illustration of the gaslighting principle. The target is placed in the position of having to defend the accuracy of his own memory against the calm, unwavering certainty of the gaslighter. The signature incident represents a further escalation. Lucy presents a letter for Cheever's signature. He signs it. Moments later, she returns the document and observes that his name is not there. When he insists that he signed it, she suggests with the gentle patience of a nurse speaking to a confused patient that he might have thought he signed it but did not. The cumulative effect of these small disruptions is already visible in Cheever's growing agitation. He begins to question his own perceptions, to search for explanations in overwork and the added burden of Mooney's responsibilities. Lucy is ready with the interpretation she has prepared. The symptoms are those of a guilt complex arising from the unjust dismissal of a loyal subordinate. The suggestion is planted with such casual expertise that Cheever, even while rejecting it, cannot entirely dismiss it. Throughout these early maneuvers, Lucille Ball's performance is a continuous demonstration of comic intelligence and physical control. She calibrates each interaction with microscopic precision, adjusting the degree of concern, the tone of suggestion, the timing of each disruption, so that the pressure on Cheever increases without ever becoming so obvious that the scheme collapses. Her facial expressiveness remains one of the great resources of American television comedy. In the space of a single glance, she can convey the private triumph of a successful deception, the genuine affection that motivates the entire enterprise, and the residual anxiety that the plan might yet fail. Gale Gordon's Mooney, though less active in these initial stages, provides an essential counterpoint. His presence in the background, his occasional interjections, and his visible struggle between professional residual dignity and the satisfaction of watching his tormentor unravel create a secondary layer of comedy that enriches every scene. The cultural resonance of the sequence is considerable. In the late 1960s, the concept of gaslighting had not yet entered common parlance as a description of psychological manipulation, yet the film remained a well-known reference point for audiences. By adapting its central mechanism to the purposes of workplace comedy and personal loyalty, the writers of The Lucy Show performed a characteristic act of cultural translation. They took a dark psychological thriller and transformed it into a vehicle for the celebration of friendship and the gentle satire of corporate hierarchy. The fact that the campaign is motivated by Lucy's desire to correct an injustice rather than to inflict harm allows the audience to enjoy the elaborate deception without moral discomfort. The laughter is uncomplicated by ethical reservation. The audience is free to root for the success of the scheme because its ultimate purpose is the restoration of a man who has been wronged. The writing continues to demonstrate the series' mastery of escalation. Each incident is slightly more disruptive than the last, each of Lucy's interpretations slightly more pointed, each of Cheever's reactions slightly more unmoored. The audience is invited to observe the gradual construction of a psychological trap with the same appreciation one might bring to the assembly of an elaborate mechanical device. The pleasure lies not only in the individual gags but in the accumulating architecture of the campaign. By the time Cheever begins to dictate a letter to the Executive Placement Bureau and finds himself producing a confused, almost maternal expression of regret for having fired Mooney, the audience understands that the trap is closing. The dictation sequence in which Cheever's intended formal request for applicants dissolves into a rambling confession of guilt addressed to his mother is a comic high point that simultaneously advances the plot and deepens the characterization of the victim. In the end, the inception and early execution of the gaslight scheme stand as a testament to the enduring comic partnership of Lucille Ball and Gale Gordon and to the writer's understanding of how character and situation can be made to serve each other. Lucy's plan is extravagant, potentially dangerous, and entirely consistent with everything the audience has ever known about her. Mooney's participation is reluctant, self-interested, and equally consistent. Together, they embark on an enterprise that will test the limits of Cheever's self-possession and in the process reaffirm the peculiar affectionate bond that has always existed between secretary and employer. The 48-cent shortage has led to a firing. The firing has led to a scheme. The scheme is now underway. The stage is set for the more elaborate psychological warfare that will occupy the following sequences, and the audience, thoroughly invested in both the justice of the cause and the ingenuity of the method, is prepared to follow Lucy Carmichael into the heart of the campaign. The brilliance of the conception lies in its perfect alignment with Lucy's established character. She has always been a woman who believes that problems can be solved by direct imaginative intervention. The gaslighting of Cheever is simply the most sophisticated expression of that belief. It requires planning, timing, collaboration, and a willingness to operate outside the boundaries of conventional behavior, all qualities that Lucy has demonstrated repeatedly across 6 seasons. The fact that the scheme is motivated by loyalty rather than malice allows the comedy to remain fundamentally warm even as it becomes increasingly elaborate. The audience laughs not at the victimization of Cheever but at the ingenuity of the campaign and the growing discrepancy between his self-perception and the reality that Lucy is constructing around him. Mary Jane's role in the early stages of the planning provides an essential grounding element. Her practical skepticism serves as a counterweight to Lucy's enthusiasm, reminding the audience of the potential risks while never seriously threatening to derail the enterprise. The dynamic between the two women is one of the series' most reliable sources of both comedy and emotional texture. Mary Jane understands Lucy better than almost anyone in her willingness to support the scheme. However dubious she may find, it is itself an expression of the loyalty that the entire narrative celebrates. As the first phase of the campaign concludes, the audience is left with a clear sense of the escalating stakes. Cheever is beginning to doubt his own senses. Lucy and Mooney are beginning to sense the possibility of success. The machinery of the gaslighting is fully engaged. The sequence that follows will push the psychological pressure to its breaking point, but the foundation has been laid with meticulous care and with the deep affection for character that distinguished the Lucy Show at its best. Lucille Ball in particular has once again demonstrated her unparalleled ability to make the audience believe that the most elaborate and unlikely schemes are the natural expression of a fundamentally decent and loyal heart. The gaslight treatment has begun and the comedy that will flow from it is already rich with promise. The campaign of psychological attrition against Mr. Cheever moves from conception to full operational intensity within the confined geography of the bank office, and the sequences that chronicle this escalation constitute one of the most meticulously constructed and richly performed passages of sustained comic invention in the later seasons of The Lucy Show. What begins with a single crooked picture and a missing cigarette rapidly expands into a coordinated assault on the target's confidence in his own senses, memory, and professional judgment. Lucille Ball and her collaborators demonstrate an almost clinical understanding of how small repeated disruptions can accumulate into genuine disorientation, and they execute the strategy with a precision that allows the audience to appreciate both the mechanical elegance of the scheme and the deepening human comedy of its effects. The morning after the plan is finalized, Lucy arrives at the bank carrying the full apparatus of her campaign. Her opening gambit is a masterpiece of calibrated concern. She greets Cheever with an observation that he looks a little pale, a little peaked around the edges. When he insists with the defensive heartiness of a man who already senses something amiss that he slept like a baby, Lucy accepts the denial with an exaggerated brightness that plants the first subtle seed of doubt. The exchange is brief, yet Ball's delivery invests it with layers of meaning. Her tone is solicitous, almost maternal, yet the private gleam in her eyes signals to the audience that every word is a calculated move in a larger game. Cheever's protestations of perfect health are already beginning to sound slightly forced, and the audience understands that the pressure has begun. The picture sequence that follows is a model of visual and verbal economy. Lucy draws Cheever's attention to a framed photograph or painting on the wall and inquires with studied casualness whether it looks a little crooked. Cheever examines it and declares that it appears quite all right. Lucy persists, suggesting that it tilts to the left. When he looks again and finds it satisfactory, she allows the matter to drop, but the damage has been done. Between his two inspections, the picture has been deliberately adjusted, and the momentary uncertainty that flickers across his face is the first visible crack in the edifice of his self-assurance. The beauty of the gag lies in its simplicity and its repeatability. The audience is invited to share Lucy's private knowledge while simultaneously observing Cheever's growing suspicion that something in his environment is no longer reliable. The vanishing cigarette represents a further refinement of the technique. Cheever lights a cigarette in the ordinary course of the morning's business. While his attention is momentarily diverted, Lucy removes it. When he reaches for the cigarette and finds it gone, she expresses mild surprise that she did not see him smoking. The moment is played with exquisite restraint. Ball does not oversell the deception, she allows the absence itself to generate the comedy. And she meets Cheever's confusion with an expression of polite concern that only deepens his disorientation. The physical business is minimal, a quick practiced retrieval of the cigarette, a slight shift of posture, yet the psychological effect is immediate and cumulative. Cheever is forced to confront the possibility that he has either imagined lighting the cigarette or has somehow lost track of a simple physical action. Either conclusion is unsettling, and Lucy is ready with the interpretation she has prepared. The file mix-up escalates the campaign from the realm of physical objects to the more dangerous territory of professional memory and verbal accuracy. Cheever requests the Montgomery file. Lucy delivers the Bradshaw file and, when corrected, insists with absolute unblinking conviction that he asked for Bradshaw. The exchange is a perfect illustration of the gaslighting principle at work. The target is placed in the position of having to defend the accuracy of his own recent utterance against the calm, unwavering certainty of the gaslighter. Cheever's growing frustration is palpable. He knows what he said. Lucy's serene contradiction forces him to question whether he can trust even that basic knowledge. Ball's performance in this moment is a study in controlled aggression disguised as helpfulness. She never raises her voice, she never appears confrontational. She simply maintains her version of reality with such quiet authority that Cheever's own version begins to feel less secure. The signature incident pushes the psychological pressure to a new level of intensity. Lucy presents a letter for Cheever's signature. He signs it in the ordinary way. Moments later, she returns the document and observes with the gentle patience of a nurse addressing a confused patient that his name is not there. When he insists that he signed it, she suggests that he might have thought he signed it but did not. The cumulative effect of these small disruptions is now visible in Cheever's demeanor. He begins to search for explanations in overwork and the added burden of Mooney's former responsibilities. Lucy is ready with the diagnosis she has been preparing since the inception of the scheme. The symptoms are those of a guilt complex arising from the unjust dismissal of a loyal subordinate. The suggestion is planted with such casual expertise that Cheever, even while rejecting it as ridiculous, cannot entirely dismiss it. The idea has been introduced into his mind, and once introduced it begins to do its own work. Throughout these early maneuvers, the physical comedy remains relatively restrained, yet it is continuously enriched by Ball's extraordinary facial expressiveness and by the precise timing of each disruption. She calibrates every interaction with microscopic care, adjusting the degree of concern, the tone of suggestion, the interval between incidents so that the pressure on Cheever increases without ever becoming so obvious that the scheme collapses under its own weight. Her eyes, in particular, collapses, about Pial, with you never look top commences, remain one of the great resources of American television comedy. In the space of a single glance, she can convey the private triumph of a successful deception, the genuine affection that motivates the entire enterprise, and the residual anxiety that the plan might yet fail. The audience is permitted to share her secret knowledge while simultaneously experiencing the growing disorientation of the target. Gale Gordon's Mooney, though less active in the foreground of these scenes, provides an essential secondary layer of comedy and emotional texture. His presence in the background, his occasional interjections, and his visible struggle between residual professional dignity and the deep satisfaction of watching his tormentor unravel create a continuous counterpoint to Lucy's more overt campaign. When Cheever begins to dictate a letter to the Executive Placement Bureau and finds the formal language dissolving into a confused, almost maternal expression of regret for having fired that very nice vice president, the comedy reaches a high point that simultaneously advances the plot and deepens the characterization of both victim and conspirators. The dictation sequence is a small masterpiece of verbal disintegration. What begins as a standard business communication mutates, under the pressure of Lucy's ongoing campaign, into a rambling confession of guilt addressed to Cheever's mother. The transformation is both hilarious and oddly touching. The audience understands that the guilt complex Lucy has been carefully cultivating is beginning to take independent root. The cultural and historical resonance of these sequences is considerable. In the late 1960s, the concept of gaslighting had not yet entered common parlance as a description of systematic psychological manipulation, yet the 1944 film remained a sufficiently well-known reference point that audiences could immediately grasp the mechanism being employed. By adapting that mechanism to the purposes of workplace comedy and the restoration of a wrongfully dismissed man, the writers of The Lucy Show performed a characteristic act of cultural translation. They took a dark psychological thriller and transformed it into a vehicle for the celebration of loyalty and the gentle satire of corporate hierarchy and masculine self-assurance. The fact that the campaign is motivated by Lucy's desire to correct an injustice rather than to inflict harm allows the audience to enjoy the elaborate deception without moral discomfort. The laughter remains uncomplicated by ethical reservation. The audience is free to root for the success of the scheme because its ultimate purpose is the reinstatement of a man who has been treated unfairly. The writing demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of escalation. Each incident is slightly more disruptive than the last, each of Lucy's interpretations slightly more pointed, each of Cheever's reactions slightly more unmoored. The audience is invited to observe the gradual construction of a psychological trap with the same appreciation one might bring to the assembly of an elaborate mechanical device. The pleasure lies not only in the individual gags, the crooked picture, the vanishing cigarette, the misdelivered file, the missing signature, but in the accumulating architecture of the campaign. By the time Cheever begins to see Mooney's face in the delivery boy and to question his own grasp on reality, the trap is fully sprung. The comedy has moved beyond isolated incidents into the sustained portrayal of a man whose confidence in his own perceptions is being systematically dismantled. Lucille Ball's achievement in these scenes lies in her ability to make the audience believe that the most elaborate and potentially cruel scheme is the natural expression of a fundamentally decent and loyal heart. She never allows Lucy's enjoyment of the campaign's success to tip into genuine malice. The private smiles, the quick glances of triumph exchanged with Mooney, the carefully modulated tone of concern, all remain grounded in the character's essential goodness. The audience laughs at Cheever's disorientation, yet it never loses sight of the fact that the disorientation is a means to a just end. That dual awareness, delight in the mechanics of the deception combined with genuine investment in the moral purpose of the campaign, is the measure of the sequence's success and of Ball's extraordinary skill in maintaining the delicate balance. As the psychological warfare reaches its midpoint, the audience is left with a clear sense of the escalating stakes and the approaching climax. Cheever is no longer merely annoyed or confused, he is beginning to doubt the reliability of his own mind. Lucy and Mooney can sense the possibility of success. The machinery of the gaslighting is fully engaged and operating with increasing efficiency. The sequences that follow will push the pressure to its breaking point, but the foundation of careful Cumulative disruption has been laid with meticulous care and with the deep affection for character that distinguished The Lucy Show at its finest. In the crooked pictures, the missing signatures and the vanishing cigarettes, Lucille Ball and her collaborators created a sustained comic setpiece that remains a model of how psychological farce can be made to serve both laughter and the fit. Loyalty. The campaign continues and the audience, thoroughly invested in both the justice of the cause and the ingenuity of the method, waits with happy anticipation for the moment when Cheever's resistance will finally collapse. The brilliance of the execution lies in the perfect alignment between method and character. Lucy has always believed that the world can be reshaped by sufficient cleverness and sufficient will. The systematic undermining of Cheever's confidence is simply the most sophisticated expression of that belief yet seen in the series. It requires planning, timing, collaboration, and a willingness to operate outside the boundaries of conventional behavior, all qualities that Lucy has demonstrated repeatedly. The fact that the scheme is animated by loyalty rather than malice allows the comedy to remain fundamentally warm even as it becomes increasingly elaborate and potentially dangerous. The audience is never asked to choose between laughter and affection, both are available in abundance. And both are sustained by the same deep understanding of who Lucy Carmichael is and why her schemes, however extravagant, remain essentially lovable. The climax of the gaslighting campaign arrives with the force of a carefully engineered collapse and the sequences that chronicle Mr. Cheever's final disintegration and the subsequent reinstatement of Mr. Mooney stand as one of the most satisfying and intricately constructed payoffs in the later seasons of The Lucy Show. What began with a crooked picture and a vanishing cigarette has now accumulated into a full-scale assault on the target's confidence in his own senses, memory, and professional judgment. Lucille Ball and her collaborators bring the enterprise to its resolution with a precision that allows the audience to experience both the comic triumph of the scheme and the underlying warmth of the loyalty that animated it from the beginning. The pressure on Cheever reaches its breaking point in a series of increasingly disorienting incidents that push the psychological farce to its logical extreme. After the cumulative effect of the missing signatures, the misdelivered files and the repeated suggestions of a guilt complex, Cheever is already a man whose grip on ordinary reality has begun to loosen. Lucy, sensing the critical moment, escalates the campaign with a bold physical intervention. She persuades him to rest his eyes under a cold compress, ostensibly to relieve the strain of overwork. While he sits eyes covered and senses partially muffled, the entire environment of the office is altered. When the compress is removed after what he is told has been half an hour, Cheever opens his eyes to a transformed room. Lucy herself appears to have changed into a rabbit. A plant has become a tree. A portrait of Washington has acquired new and alarming significance. The sequence is pure visual and conceptual comedy of the highest order. Ball's performance as the rabbit is a brief masterstroke of physical suggestion, enough to sell the hallucination without descending into pure cartoon, and Cheever's reaction is a perfect fusion of genuine panic and residual dignity. He clutches at explanations, seizes upon the guilt complex diagnosis that Lucy has so carefully prepared, and finally breaks. The breaking itself is handled with remarkable comic delicacy. Cheever does not simply collapse into gibbering incoherence. He undergoes a rapid, almost logical progression from confusion to self-diagnosis to desperate remedial action. The guilt complex he now accepts is the only possible explanation for the cascading failures of perception he has been experiencing. The only cure is the immediate reinstatement of the man whose unjust dismissal produced the complex in the first place. He orders Lucy to telephone Mooney at once and to instruct him to return before the executive goes completely haywire. The language is pure Cheever. Even in extremity, the formal structures of authority remain intact even as the man who inhabits them is coming apart. When Mooney appears with suspicious rapidity, Lucy having of course summoned him well in advance, Cheever's relief is so profound that he scarcely questions the timing. Mooney is restored to his position. Cheever, still reeling, announces that he is going away, far, far away, and exits the narrative, having served his comic purpose with distinction. The aftermath of the triumph is rendered with the affectionate attention to character that distinguishes the best of The Lucy Show. Mooney's gratitude is genuine and expansive. He declares Lucy's campaign a stroke of genius and promises that he shall be forever indebted. Lucy, never one to allow a moment of leverage to pass unexploited, immediately reminds him of the $10 a week raise he promised her if the scheme succeeded. The exchange that follows is a small comic gem. Mooney attempts to wriggle free of the commitment. Lucy holds him to it with the same serene persistence she brought to the gaslighting itself. When he suggests that she may be able to work the gaslight treatment on Cheever but should not attempt to skullocky the cleaning woman, the line lands with perfect timing, simultaneously acknowledging the success of the campaign and reasserting the familiar hierarchy of their relationship. Ball's response, an expression of injured innocence that fools no one, completes the beat with characteristic grace. What makes the resolution so richly satisfying is the way it balances multiple layers of comedy and emotion. On the surface, the sequence is a classic farce payoff. The elaborate scheme succeeds, the antagonist is undone by his own accumulating doubts, and the rightful order is restored. Beneath that surface, however, the writers and performers maintain a continuous awareness of the human stakes. Mooney's reinstatement is not merely a plot convenience. It is the restoration of a man whose entire identity had been stripped away. Lucy's triumph is not merely the success of a clever trick. It is the vindication of a loyalty that has driven her from the original 48-cent cover-up through every subsequent escalation. Even Cheever, the nominal villain of the piece, is allowed a measure of dignity in his collapse. His final acceptance of the guilt complex diagnosis and his decision to remove himself from the scene are played with enough residual authority that the audience can laugh at his disorientation without feeling that he has been reduced to a pure caricature. Lucille Ball's performance throughout the climax is a continuous demonstration of comic control and emotional clarity. She calibrates every stage of Cheever's disintegration with microscopic precision, knowing exactly how much pressure to apply and when to allow the target's own mind to complete the work. Her physical comedy in the rabbit transformation is brief but indelible, a reminder of the bodily inventiveness that remained available to her even in the more dialogue-driven later seasons. Yet the true center of her achievement lies in the sustained portrayal of Lucy's dual consciousness. The private enjoyment of the scheme's success coexists at every moment with the genuine affection and sense of justice that motivated the enterprise. The audience is never asked to choose between laughing at the mechanics of the deception and caring about its purpose. Both responses are continuously available and continuously rewarded. Gale Gordon's Mooney, restored to his desk and his dignity, provides the perfect counterweight. His gratitude is real, yet it is immediately tempered by the familiar wariness that has always marked his relationship with Lucy. The $10 raise negotiation is a perfect illustration of the dynamic. Mooney knows he has been saved by Lucy's ingenuity, yet he cannot resist the impulse to limit the cost of that salvation. The exchange re-establishes the comic equilibrium of their partnership with remarkable efficiency. The crisis is over, the ordinary rhythms of exasperation and reluctant dependence can resume. The cultural resonance of the sequence remains significant. In adapting the gaslighting mechanism of the 1944 film to the purposes of workplace comedy and the restoration of a wrongfully dismissed man, the writers performed a characteristic act of moral and tonal translation. The original film's cruelty is replaced by a campaign whose ultimate purpose is justice. The audience is permitted to enjoy the elaborate deception precisely because its target is an agent of institutional unfairness and its beneficiaries are characters the audience has been invited to love. The laughter is uncomplicated by ethical reservation, yet it is never empty of human content. The reinstatement of Mooney feels earned. The collapse of Cheever feels like the natural consequence of his own earlier rigidity. As the immediate aftermath of the triumph settles, the narrative begins to prepare for the next major movement of the composite. The bank crisis has been resolved. Mooney is back in his chair. Lucy has secured her raise and, more importantly, has reaffirmed the depth of the bond that ties her to her long-suffering employer. The stage is clear for the arrival of Aunt Agatha and the domestic farce that will occupy the subsequent episodes. Yet the memory of the gaslighting campaign lingers as a demonstration of what Lucy Carmichael is capable of when her loyalty is fully engaged. She has taken a 48-cent shortage, a wrongful dismissal and a classic film reference, and from those materials she has constructed a sustained comic sequence of remarkable ingenuity, precision and warmth. The final image of the sequence Mooney restored Cheever departed, Lucy quietly, victorious encapsulates the essential achievement of the arc. Justice has been manufactured through cleverness. Hierarchy has been temporarily inverted and then re-established on slightly more favorable terms. Loyalty has been tested and found inexhaustible. Lucille Ball, working with material that understands both the absurdity and the sincerity of her character, has once again demonstrated why she remained the preeminent comic actress of American television. The guilt complex has done its work. Mooney is rehired. The campaign is over. And the audience thoroughly satisfied by the resolution yet already anticipating the next eruption of chaos is ready to follow Lucy Carmichael into whatever new complication awaits. The brilliance of the payoff lies in its perfect fidelity to character. Lucy does not win through superior force or institutional power, she wins through superior understanding of human psychology and superior willingness to act on that understanding. Cheever is undone not by external attack but by the carefully cultivated collapse of his own confidence. Mooney is restored not by appeal to abstract justice but by the practical demonstration that his absence has made the bank's senior executive functionally incapable of performing his duties. The solution is pure Lucy extravagant, slightly unscrupulous, and ultimately effective. That the audience can celebrate such a solution without reservation is the measure of the series' success in making loyalty the highest comic virtue and ingenuity its most reliable instrument. The transition from the high-stakes psychological comedy of The Bank to the domestic farce of Aunt Agatha's arrival is handled with the seamless efficiency that characterized The Lucy Show at its most confident, and the sequences that introduce this new source of chaos rank among the most richly observed and physically inventive passages in the composite. The gaslighting campaign has concluded in triumph, Mooney is restored, the $10 raise has been secured, however reluctantly. The narrative now pivots to Lucy's home life where a torn letter, a series of incomplete clues and the unexpected appearance of a formidable relative will generate an entirely different register of comedy, one grounded in the collision between Lucy's cheerful, slightly chaotic domesticity and the rigid health-obsessed tyranny of her Aunt Agatha. The arrival is prepared with characteristic care. Lucy and Mary Jane discover a handwritten letter that has been accidentally torn. The fragments yield tantalizing but incomplete information. Someone is coming to Viz will arrive on a day whose abbreviation is ambiguous at 7:30 in the evening. The detective work that follows is pure Lucy and Mary Jane, earnest, slightly frantic, and ultimately inconclusive. Lucy carries the fragments to the bank, where Mooney's exasperation at the distraction provides a brief, affectionate reminder of the partnership that has just been restored. The letter remains a mystery until the doorbell rings and the mystery resolves itself in the formidable person of Aunt Agatha. Mary Wickes's Agatha is a comic creation of formidable precision and energy. She enters Lucy's apartment with the absolute confidence of a woman who has never doubted her own right to rearrange other people's lives. Her first inspection of her niece is devastating. "You look terrible," she declares after ordering Lucy to turn around for a full assessment. "Thank goodness I'm not too late. I'll have you feeling better in no time." The diagnosis is comprehensive and unwelcome. Lucy does not eat properly, does not live properly, does not even breathe properly. The prescription is immediate and absolute. Fresh air must be admitted even if the California night is chilly, and the air outside is visibly burdened with smog. Health foods must replace the ordinary provisions of the household. Sensible clothing must cover the knees to prevent rheumatism. The plant that Lucy is keeping for a neighbor is declared a tropical monster that consumes excessive oxygen and breeds germs in its soil. It must be removed or at least thoroughly sprayed. The comedy of the invasion lies in the absolute certainty with which Agatha imposes her regime and the increasingly desperate resistance it provokes in Lucy. Ball's performance in these early domestic scenes is a master class in the art of the slow burn. She begins with polite, slightly bewildered accommodation, the familiar posture of a hostess attempting to make a difficult guest comfortable. As the demands escalate, the accommodation phrase, the moment when Agatha claims the bedroom and consigns Lucy to the sofa, is played with a perfect balance of resignation and rising indignation. The further demand that the television set also be relocated to Agatha's room pushes Lucy to the edge of open rebellion, yet she still attempts to negotiate, offering to watch television in a friend's apartment rather than disturb her guest's privacy. The generosity is characteristic. The fact that it is immediately exploited is the source of the comedy. The true explosion of physical comedy arrives the following morning. Agatha's regime includes an uncompromising program of early rising and vigorous exercise. Lucy is awakened at 5 o'clock, an hour she regards as the middle of the night, and ordered to begin a series of calisthenics. The breathing exercises are difficult enough. Lucy's lungs, she protests, are still asleep. Agatha's solution is the introduction of Indian clubs. The image of Lucille Ball still half asleep, attempting to swing the clubs in the prescribed rhythm while Agatha demonstrates with martial enthusiasm is pure visual delight. The bending exercises, the running in place that is supposed to equal 1, and then 2 miles, the trunk twists that threaten to unbalance both women. Each is rendered with Ball's unmatched gift for making physical struggle both hilarious and strangely graceful. Her protests, "I get pooped out at work, don't poop me out before I go in to get pooped out," are delivered with the perfect timing of a woman who knows she is fighting a losing battle, yet cannot surrender without a fight. The breakfast sequence that follows the exercises is a comic set piece of equal brilliance. Agatha has already disposed of the bacon and eggs, declaring them pure poison. In their place, she offers a meal composed of wheat germ, soybeans, yogurt, blackstrap, molasses, and a glass of lukewarm cod liver oil. Lucy's resistance is absolute and articulate. She is a steak and potatoes girl. She does not wish to be the healthiest girl in town if the price is the consumption of this particular breakfast. Agatha's response is the relentless coaxing of a woman who has never accepted no for an answer. The image of Ball being persuaded, cajoled, and finally half forced to swallow the cod liver oil is both hilarious and oddly touching. One senses the genuine exhaustion of a woman whose home has been occupied and whose ordinary pleasures have been systematically outlawed. What elevates the Agatha sequences beyond pure physical farce is the undercurrent of character revelation that runs beneath the comedy. Agatha's tyranny is not motivated by simple malice. She is a woman who has constructed her identity around the principles of health and self-improvement, and she cannot conceive that those principles might not be universally welcome. Her confidence is absolute. Her methods are those of a benevolent dictator. Lucy's resistance, correspondingly, is not mere petulance. It is the defense of a way of life that includes frozen foods, late sleeping, steak dinners, and the ordinary chaos of an independent existence. The collision between these two worldviews generates comedy of a particularly rich and sustained kind. The cultural context of the late 1960s adds a further layer of resonance. The health food movement and the growing interest in exercise and natural living were already visible in American culture. Agatha represents an extreme and comically rigid version of tendencies that many in the audience would have recognized. By embodying those tendencies in a character of such uncompromising force, the writers created a figure who could satirize the excesses of the emerging health culture without descending into pure mockery. Agatha is ridiculous, yet she is also oddly admirable in her consistency. Lucy's rebellion is necessary and hilarious, yet it never entirely erases the audience's awareness that Agatha in her own fierce way believes she is acting for her niece's good. Mary Wickes's performance is essential to the success of the sequences. She plays Agatha with a tireless energy and an absolute refusal to see herself as comic. The character never winks at the audience. She is entirely serious in her mission, and that seriousness is what makes her so effective as a comic antagonist. Ball's Lucy, forced to share a small apartment with this force of nature, responds with the full range of her physical and expressive gifts. The early morning exercise sequences, in particular, allow her to deploy the bodily inventiveness that remained one of her greatest resources. She makes the struggle against the Indian clubs, the forced running and the trunk twists look both exhausting and strangely balletic. The audience laughs at the effort while never losing its affection for the woman who is making it. As the first full day of the occupation concludes, the narrative has established a new and fertile source of conflict. The bank crisis has been resolved, a domestic crisis of equal intensity has taken its place. Lucy is now a prisoner in her own home, subject to a regime of diet, exercise, and early rising that threatens to dismantle every comfortable habit of her existence. The stage is set for the open rebellion that will follow and for the eventual revelation of Agatha's own vulnerabilities. Yet even in these early sequences, the essential warmth of the series remains intact. The comedy is broad, physical, and relentless, yet it is never cruel. Agatha is a tyrant, but she is a tyrant who believes she is a savior. Lucy is a rebel, but she is a rebel who still attempts, at least initially, to accommodate her difficult guest. The collision between them generates laughter of a particularly pure and sustained kind, and Lucille Ball once again stands at the center of it with unmatched skill and generosity of spirit. The arrival of Aunt Agatha thus marks not merely a change of setting but a change of comic mode. The psychological subtlety of the gaslighting campaign gives way to the broader physical and domestic farce of the health nut invasion. Both modes are handled with equal assurance and both serve the same underlying celebration of Lucy Carmichael's resilience, loyalty, and capacity for inventive resistance. The 48-cent shortage has been left behind. A new and equally formidable challenge has taken its place. The audience, thoroughly entertained by the transition and already anticipating the escalating confrontation, is ready to follow Lucy into the next phase of her domestic war. The domestic occupation of Lucy Carmichael's apartment by her Aunt Agatha reaches its full comic intensity in the sequences that chronicle Lucy's growing resistance and eventual open rebellion. And these passages rank among the most physically inventive and character-rich explorations of household tyranny in the later seasons of The Lucy Show. What began as an unwelcome but still manageable invasion has now become a systematic dismantling of every comfortable habit of Lucy's existence. The early morning awakenings, the Indian clubs, the forced calisthenics, the confiscation of bacon and eggs, and the relentless administration of wheat germ yogurt, blackstrap molasses, and lukewarm cod liver oil have transformed the apartment into a private sanatorium run by a woman who has never doubted the righteousness of her own prescriptions. Lucille Ball and Mary Wickes, working with material that understands both the absurdity and the strange sincerity of the conflict, create a sustained comic confrontation that is as much about the defense of personal autonomy as it is about the immediate physical gags. The rebellion does not erupt in a single explosive moment. It accumulates through a series of small, increasingly defiant acts that mirror in domestic form the careful escalation of the earlier gaslighting campaign. Lucy's first significant stand occurs at the dinner table. Agatha has prepared a meal of safflower oil with sesame seed salad, ground bone meal, and seaweed soufflé. Lucy announces with the calm finality of a woman who has reached the limit of accommodation that she is having a steak. The declaration is met with Agatha's outraged insistence that the refrigerator has been contaminated with junk. Lucy's reply is a pure assertion of territorial and personal rights. The refrigerator is hers. The apartment is hers, and she will eat what her tummy wants. The exchange escalates rapidly. Agatha threatens to cut cousin Clara out of her will. Lucy suggests that Agatha leave Clara in and cut her out instead. The dialogue is a master class in the comic use of escalating stakes. What begins as a dispute over dinner becomes a confrontation over the right to control one's own life, and Ball and Wickes play every beat with the absolute seriousness that makes the absurdity hilarious. The physical comedy of the rebellion is inseparable from its verbal and emotional content. The early morning exercise sequences continue, but Lucy's participation becomes increasingly grudging and sabotage-oriented. She performs the breathing exercises with visible resentment. She swings the Indian clubs with a lack of coordination that is both deliberate and involuntary. When Agatha demonstrates the trunk twist and accidentally strikes her niece, the moment is played for the perfect blend of physical surprise and lingering indignation. Ball's ability to make exhaustion resistance and reluctant compliance coexist in a single physical performance remains unmatched. The audience sees a woman who is being systematically worn down yet who never entirely surrenders the core of her own preferences and rhythms. The revelation of Agatha's true circumstances provides the sequence with its deepest layer of character comedy and unexpected pathos. After Lucy's open defiance, Agatha's formidable exterior begins to crack. She confesses that the only way she has managed to live is by mooching off her relatives and that if they knew she was not rich, they would not allow her to stay with them. The admission is delivered with a vulnerability that Mary Wickes makes entirely convincing. The tyrannical health nut is revealed as a lonely woman whose rigid prescriptions and assumed wealth have been a means of securing a place in the lives of others. Lucy's response is characteristic. The anger of the preceding confrontation softens into a complicated mixture of exasperation and reluctant compassion. The moment does not erase the comedy of the occupation, it deepens it by adding a human dimension that prevents Agatha from becoming a pure caricature. The cultural resonance of the conflict is particularly rich. In the late 1960s, the emerging health, food, and fitness culture was already visible enough to be recognizable to a broad audience. Agatha represents an extreme, comically rigid version of that culture's more doctrinaire tendencies. The absolute confidence that a particular diet and exercise regime holds the key to well-being, the corresponding dismissal of ordinary pleasures as forms of self-poisoning, and the missionary impulse to impose the regime on others. By embodying these tendencies in a character of such uncompromising force, the writers created a figure who could satirize the excesses of the health movement without denying the genuine appeal that many of its principles held. Lucy's rebellion correspondingly becomes a defense, not merely of steak and late sleeping but of the right to live according to one's own imperfect, pleasurable and thoroughly human preferences. The comedy arises from the collision of two absolute positions, neither of which is entirely without merit and both of which are played with complete conviction. Lucille Ball's performance throughout the rebellion sequences is a continuous demonstration of the physical and emotional range that remained available to her. She makes Lucy's exhaustion palpable without ever losing the underlying comic vitality. The forced consumption of the cod liver oil, the reluctant swinging of the Indian clubs, the defiant announcement of the steak dinner, each is rendered with a precision that allows the audience to feel the cumulative pressure of the occupation while still laughing at every escalation. Her facial expressiveness continues to do extraordinary work. In the space of a single scene, she can move from weary compliance to open indignation to the complicated softening that follows Agatha's confession, and every transition feels earned and true to the character. Mary Wickes matches her at every point. Agatha never becomes aware of her own absurdity. That lack of self-consciousness is the foundation of the character's comic power. When she demonstrates the exercises, she does so with the absolute seriousness of a woman who believes she is saving her niece's life. When she disposes of the bacon and eggs, she does so with the moral certainty of a reformer destroying contraband. The eventual confession of her financial dependence does not undercut the earlier tyranny. It reframes it as the desperate strategy of a woman who has found in health dogma and assumed wealth a way to remain connected to others. The performance is a model of how a supporting player can enlarge the emotional and comic scope of a sequence without ever competing with the central star. As the domestic war reaches its temporary resolution, the narrative has accomplished a complete shift in comic mode while maintaining perfect continuity of character. The Lucy who gaslit a bank executive in order to restore her employer is the same Lucy who now fights for the right to eat a steak in her own kitchen. The methods differ, the underlying insistence on shaping the world according to her own sense of justice and comfort remains constant. Agatha, for her part, emerges as a more complicated figure than the initial invasion suggested, a lonely woman whose rigid certainties have been both a weapon and a shield. The comedy of their confrontation is broad, physical and relentless, yet it is never empty of human recognition. The sequences of rebellion thus stand as a fully realized comic movement in their own right. They provide Lucille Ball with some of the richest physical opportunities of the composite, they deepen the characterization of both women, and they offer a gentle but pointed satire of the emerging culture of health orthodoxy. When the immediate conflict subsides, the audience is left with a sense that a significant battle has been fought and that the terms of coexistence, however uneasy, have been at least temporarily renegotiated. The stage is cleared for the next major development, the encounter with Mr. Snowdon and the mistaken millionaire plot, yet the memory of the Indian clubs, the cod liver oil, and the defiant steak dinner lingers as a demonstration of Lucy Carmichael's inexhaustible capacity for resistance in the face of any force that threatens her hard-won autonomy. The health nut invasion has been met, endured and partially overcome. Lucille Ball once again has turned the defense of ordinary pleasures into high comic art. The narrative's transition from the enclosed domestic battlefield of Aunt Agatha's occupation to the open air of a sunlit park marks one of the most graceful and tonally refreshing shifts in the entire composite, and the sequences that introduce Mr. Charles P. Snowdon rank among the most gently observed and characteristically warm passages Lucille Ball ever played in the later seasons of The Lucy Show. After the relentless physical comedy of Indian clubs, cod liver oil and territorial disputes over steak, the story opens outward into a quieter register of comedy grounded in chance encounter, spontaneous kindness, and the slow revelation of an unexpected human connection. The park bench becomes the new stage, and on it Lucy Carmichael meets a man whose unassuming presence will generate an entirely fresh cycle of misunderstanding, generosity, and farce. The meeting itself is prepared with the unhurried attention to small human detail that distinguished the series at its most affectionate. Lucy and Mary Jane are taking a Saturday stroll, though Lucy, still recovering from Agatha's regime, regards the distance as something closer to an expedition. She sits to rest her feet. A gentleman who has been dozing on the same bench shifts in his sleep and inadvertently uses her back as a pillow. The small physical comedy of the moment, Lucy's startled realization, the careful extraction of herself from the unexpected burden, the gentleman's sleepy apology, is played with perfect lightness. Frank McHugh's Mr. Snowdon awakens into a courtesy so complete and so free of embarrassment that the audience is immediately disarmed. "I hope you found me comfortable," he says. "Exceedingly so," Lucy replies. "It's like sleeping on a cloud." The exchange establishes the tone of everything that follows, a comedy of manners conducted between two people who have not yet realized how thoroughly their meeting will complicate both their lives. Snowdon's philosophy emerges in the same gentle key. He is not unemployed, he explains with careful precision, he is simply out of work. The distinction matters. Unemployment implies insurance, his own has long since run out. He has done you name it, yet he has also learned that earning a living gets in the way of living. The line is delivered without bitterness or self-pity. It is simply the distilled wisdom of a man who has chosen, or been forced to accept, a life of intermittent labor and extended contemplation. Lucy's response is immediate and characteristic. She is drawn to the dignity with which he inhabits his reduced circumstances, and she is moved by the quiet implication of hunger that underlies his courtesy. When Mary Jane arrives with ice cream, and through a small comic misunderstanding about strawberry and rash ends by offering a cone to Snowdon, Lucy watches him eat with an attention that is already half maternal and half conspiratorial. The truth, she decides, must be faced. It has been a long time since this man has had a decent meal. She invites him home for dinner on the spot. The decision is pure Lucy Carmichael, impulsive, generous, and entirely indifferent to the practical complications it will create. Ball plays the invitation with the radiant certainty of a woman who has never doubted that a problem of human need can be solved by direct personal action. Snowdon's acceptance is equally characteristic, grateful, slightly formal, and touched with the residual caution of a man who has learned not to expect too much from strangers. The park bench sequence closes on a note of provisional harmony. Two people who knew nothing of each other an hour earlier have established a connection grounded in courtesy, curiosity, and the simple offer of a meal. The audience, already fond of both, senses that the connection will not remain simple for long. What elevates the introduction of Snowdon beyond a conventional kindness to a stranger episode is the careful calibration of tone and the depth of the character work. Frank McHugh brings to the role a weathered gentleness that never tips into pathos. Snowdon is not presented as a figure of pure misfortune. He is a man who has made a coherent, if unconventional, peace with the terms of his existence. His conversation is laced with a quiet humor and a refusal to sentimentalize his own condition. When Lucy asks where he lives, and he replies 3 benches down the line, is both funny and oddly logical. If he lived on his favorite bench, he explains, he would have no place to go. The joke is light, yet it contains an entire philosophy of motion and rest, of the small freedoms that remain available even in reduced circumstances. Lucille Ball's Lucy responds to this philosophy with the full range of her characteristic impulses. She is intrigued, protective, and already beginning to calculate how she might improve the man's situation. The same instinct that led her to cover a 48-cent shortage and to gaslight a bank executive now expresses itself in the simpler form of an invitation to dinner. The continuity of character is absolute. Lucy does not change, only the scale and the setting of her interventions change. Ball makes the continuity visible in the smallest details of posture and expression. The woman who once swung Indian clubs under protest is the same woman who now leans forward on a park bench listening with complete attention to a stranger's account of his life and deciding almost before the account is finished that she will feed him. The cultural context of the late 1960s gives the encounter an additional resonance. The figure of the older man living on the margins of prosperity, possessed of skills that the youth-oriented job market no longer values, was a recognizable presence in American life. Snowden's observation that the call seems to be for younger men lands with quiet accuracy. The series does not turn the observation into a sermon. It simply allows the character to state the fact and then moves on to the human connection that transcends it. Lucy's refusal to treat Snowden as a problem to be solved by institutions and her insistence on treating him as a person to be fed and spoken with reflects the same preference for direct personal action that has defined her throughout. The composite. In a period of growing social programs and bureaucratic solutions, the episode quietly reaffirms the older, more individualistic comedy of neighborly intervention. Mary Jane's presence in the sequence provides the necessary comic counterpoint and the voice of ordinary caution. Her ice cream misunderstanding, her slightly skeptical assessment of the stranger, and her eventual willingness to go along with Lucy's invitation create a familiar and affectionate dynamic. She is the friend who sees the potential complications yet cannot resist the momentum of Lucy's generosity. The interplay between the two women keeps the scene from becoming purely sentimental. The comedy of the ice cream exchange and the small negotiations of the invitation maintain the light conversational rhythm that is the series' natural mode. As the park bench sequence concludes, and the three figures move toward Lucy's apartment, the narrative has established a new and fertile source of complication. Snowden has been invited into Lucy's life with the same impulsive openness that once admitted Aunt Agatha. The audience already anticipates the misunderstandings that will follow, particularly once Mr. Mooney enters the frame, yet the anticipation is colored by genuine affection for the new character and for the impulse that brought him into the story. The health nut invasion has been left behind. A new cycle of kindness, mistaken identity and escalating farce is about to begin. Lucille Ball once again stands at the center of the transition with the radiant certainty of a woman who believes that almost any human situation can be improved by the offer of a meal and the willingness to listen. The park bench gentleman has been met. The consequences of that meeting will unfold with the same mixture of warmth, absurdity, and precise character comedy that has defined every preceding movement of the composite. The brilliance of the introduction lies in its refusal to hurry. The writers allow Snowden to establish himself as a presence before the plot machinery begins to turn. The audience is given time to enjoy his courtesy, his quiet humor, and the dignity with which he inhabits his circumstances. Only when that foundation of affection is secure does the narrative begin to prepare the larger misunderstandings that will drive the subsequent episodes. The result is a sequence that feels both complete in itself and perfectly poised for the complications to come. Lucy Carmichael has once again followed her instincts into an encounter that will prove far more consequential than she can yet imagine, and Lucille Ball has once again made the following of those instincts look like the most natural and the critter bellicous line wall. Most generous thing in the world. The transformation of Mr. Charles P. Snowden from a quietly dignified park bench acquaintance into the presumed embodiment of eccentric wealth constitutes one of the most elegantly constructed and character-driven comic reversals in the entire composite, and the sequences that effect this transformation rank among the purest distillations of the Lucy Show's gift for turning ordinary human kindness into the engine of escalating farce. What began as Lucy's impulsive invitation to a hungry stranger is about to be reinterpreted, through the accidental agency of a newspaper story and the avid imagination of Mr. Mooney, as a potential financial windfall of $20,000. The result is a sustained passage of mistaken identity comedy that allows Lucille Ball, Gale Gordon, and Frank McHugh to explore with remarkable precision and warmth the ways in which greed, generosity, and self-delusion can coexist. within a single human transaction. The catalyst arrives in the most ordinary form, a newspaper left behind in Lucy's apartment. Mary Jane, returning while Lucy is out seeking employment for Snowden, reads aloud the story of Godfrey Collingwood, an eccentric millionaire whose hobby is rewarding acts of kindness with substantial cash gifts. The accompanying photograph Mary Jane decides bears a striking resemblance to the man she has just met. The seed of the misunderstanding is planted with classic economy. When Mooney arrives moments later, still in the brusque business-first mode that has always defined his interactions with Lucy's personal life, Mary Jane cannot resist sharing the discovery. Mooney examines the photograph and declares with the absolute confidence of a man who has already begun to calculate percentages that there is not the slightest resemblance. The denial is itself the first evidence of interest. Profiles, he observes, can be deceptive. Sideways, he himself is often mistaken for Richard Burton, full face for Rock Hudson. The comparison is pure Mooney, grandiose, slightly absurd, and already revealing the private hope that the resemblance might after all be real. The private hope becomes public policy with remarkable speed. Once Lucy and Snowden return from their unsuccessful job search, Mooney undergoes a transformation as complete as any in the series. The man who had earlier dismissed the idea of employing another Barney Baruch now insists that he can find a place for Snowden at the bank. The thought of the older man spending another night on a park bench, he declares, would trouble his conscience so deeply that he would be unable to sleep. Mooney Manor is placed at Snowden's disposal. Luggage is carried. Cashmere socks and imported cigars appear. The language of hospitality flows with an unctuous fluency that Gail Gordon plays with masterly precision. Every offer is phrased as pure altruism. Every gesture is calibrated to the possibility of a $20,000 return. The audience, privy to the newspaper story and to Mooney's earlier denial of resemblance, watches the performance with the delighted knowledge that the generosity is entirely conditional. Lucy's discovery of the true motive produces one of the composite's most satisfying confrontations. Returning to Mooney's home, she finds Snowden already installed in a state of slightly bewildered luxury. She produces the newspaper, forces Mooney to acknowledge the story, and then in a private moment with Snowden explains the situation with the clear-eyed pragmatism that has always coexisted with her impulsiveness. Mooney, she tells him, smells money and transforms from Simon Legree into Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. The assessment is delivered without malice. It is simply the accurate reading of a character she has studied for years. Her advice to Snowden is equally characteristic: stay, accept the hospitality, and allow her to ensure that the promised job materializes. The moral complication is acknowledged, and then set aside in favor of the practical goal of securing employment for a man who needs it. Ball plays the scene with a perfect balance of indignation at Mooney's motives and determination to turn those motives to useful account. The subsequent negotiation over salary is a comic high point that simultaneously advances the plot and deepens the portrait of Mooney's avarice. Lucy arrives with the fabricated news that the apartment house manager is prepared to offer Snowden $200 a week. Mooney, unwilling to be outbid for the attention of a possible millionaire, immediately raises the offer to $250 and produces a written contract on the spot. The speed of the escalation is hilarious. The underlying desperation is oddly touching. Gordon allows the audience to see both the comic greed and the genuine, if entirely self-interested, anxiety that Snowden might escape before the expected reward materializes. Snowden's acceptance. With that kind of money, I can buy my own park bench, is delivered with the same quiet dignity that has defined him from the first meeting, and the line lands as both a joke and a small assertion of independence. What makes the mistaken millionaire sequence so richly rewarding is the way it maintains sympathy for every participant, even as it exposes their weaknesses. Snowden remains the moral center, courteous, unassuming, and genuinely grateful for kindness that he does not yet fully understand. Lucy remains the active agent of generosity, willing to manipulate Mooney's greed in order to secure a real benefit for a man who needs it. Mooney himself, though driven by the hope of financial return, is never reduced to pure caricature. His hospitality, however motivated, is expansive and detailed. His language of conscience, however, Hollow is delivered with the full conviction of a man who has always been able to align his self-interest with a plausible ethical narrative. The audience is invited to laugh at the transparency of his motives without ever entirely withdrawing its affection for the character. The cultural context of the late 1960s adds a further layer of resonance. The figure of the eccentric millionaire who tests the kindness of strangers was a recognizable popular myth, and the episode treats the myth with a light skeptical touch. By making the supposed millionaire an ordinary man of modest means and quiet dignity, the writers invert the expected moral lesson. The true test is not of Snowden's character but of Mooney's, and Mooney predictably fails it in the most human and most comical way. The $20,000 reward remains a fantasy. The job at the bank becomes a reality. The discrepancy between the imagined prize and the actual outcome is the source of the sequence's deepest comedy and its quietest satisfaction. Lucille Ball's performance throughout these scenes is a continuous demonstration of the character's dual capacity for moral clarity and strategic cunning. She is genuinely appalled by Mooney's motives, yet she is entirely willing to use those motives to achieve a good end. The private conversation with Snowden in which she explains the situation and urges him to remain is played with a directness and warmth that remind the audience why Lucy's schemes, however elaborate, remain essentially lovable. She does not deceive Snowden, she enlists him as a conscious participant in the management of Mooney's self-delusion. The distinction is crucial and Ball makes it visible in every inflection and glance. As the immediate complications of the mistaken identity begin to settle into the new status quo of Snowden's employment, the narrative has once again demonstrated its gift for generating fresh comedy from the collision of ordinary whilers. Human impulses. Kindness has been misread as investment. Generosity has been performed as speculation. A park bench acquaintance has become a bank employee through the accidental agency of a newspaper photograph and a banker's hopeful avarice. The stage is set for the further development of Snowden's unexpected competence and for the eventual collapse of Mooney's fantasy, yet the foundation of affection and absurdity has been laid with meticulous care. Lucille Ball, Gale Gordon and Frank McHugh, working with material that understands both the ridiculousness and the recognizability of their characters' motives, have created a sequence that is as warm as it is funny and as precisely observed as it is extravagantly plotted. The mistaken millionaire has been installed. The consequences of the mistake will continue to unfold with the same mixture of loyalty, self-interest, and inventive farce that has defined every preceding movement of the composite. The installation of Mr. Charles P. Snowden at the bank under the false flag of potential millionaire status produces one of the composite's most satisfying and quietly subversive comic movements. And the sequences that chronicle his unexpected professional success rank among the purest demonstrations of the Lucy Show's ability to extract genuine character revelation from the machinery of farce. What began as a transaction motivated by Mooney's hopeful avarice is about to be transformed through Snowden's own unassuming competence into a genuine contribution to the bank's operations. The discrepancy between the motive for employment and the quality of the work performed becomes the central comic engine of the sequence, allowing Lucille Ball, Gale Gordon and Frank McHugh to explore with remarkable precision the ways in which self-interest, gratitude and actual ability can coexist within a single unfolding situation. Snowden's early days at the bank are rendered with the same gentle attention to human detail that marked his introduction on the park bench. He approaches the work with a quiet diligence that never calls attention to itself. The audience is given time to observe him settling into the routines of the office, retrieving skills that have lain dormant for years and performing the ordinary tasks of banking with a competence that gradually becomes impossible to ignore. The revelation of that competence arrives through the most authoritative possible channel, Mr. Cheever himself. In a scene of delicious dramatic irony, Cheever summons Mooney to deliver a verdict that overturns every prior assumption. Snowden, he declares, is a genius. In a single week, the man has devised a shortcut in the bank's bookkeeping procedures that will save thousands of dollars a month. The praise is absolute and unreserved. Mooney, who had hired Snowden solely in the hope of a $20,000 reward, is left to absorb the fact that the supposed imposter has become the most valuable recent addition to the staff. The comedy of Mooney's position is exquisite. He cannot openly claim credit for the discovery without revealing the mercenary calculation that led to the hiring, Yet he also cannot resist the institutional glory of having brought such a talent into the bank. His attempts to navigate the contradiction produce some of Gale Gordon's most finely calibrated work in the composite. When Cheever asks where he found this wonderful man, Mooney's first instinct is to distance himself in my apartment. I had nothing to do with it before the lure of praise draws him back into a claim of immediate recognition of the man's talent and worth. The oscillation between self-protection and self-congratulation is played with masterly timing, and the audience is invited to enjoy every shift of ground. Lucy's role in these sequences is that of the knowing observer and occasional protector. She alone understands the full history of Snowden's employment, and she watches Mooney's contortions with a mixture of amusement and residual protectiveness toward the older man. Her private conversations with Snowden continue the note of pragmatic solidarity established earlier. She checks on his progress, registers his quiet satisfaction in the work, and monitors Mooney's growing impatience for the expected financial reward. When Snowden reports that Mooney has begun dropping hints about a nice $20,000 birthday present for his wife, the line lands with perfect comic precision. The fantasy of the eccentric millionaire has not yet collapsed, but it is beginning to generate its own secondary farce in the form of Mooney's increasingly unsubtle expectations. The eventual collapse of the fantasy arrives through the most modern of channels, a car radio. Mooney, listening to a broadcast, hears an interview with the real Godfrey Collingwood speaking live from New York. The realization that the man in his bank is not the millionaire detonates with the force of a personal betrayal. His rage is immediate and absolute. Snowden is an imposter. Lucy is the architect of the deception. Both must be expelled. The confrontation that follows is a classic Lucy show explosion of wounded avarice and institutional authority. Mooney's language reaches for the full vocabulary of denunciation. Lucy's defense rests on the unarguable fact that he himself signed the employment contract. The legal reality checks the emotional outburst just long enough for a further institutional intervention to occur. That intervention comes once again from Cheever. Before Mooney can complete the firing, the senior executive reappears to reiterate and even expand his praise of Snowden's work. The shortcut in bookkeeping is not merely useful, it is transformative. Mooney's attempt to disown the hire collapses under the weight of official approval. In a final beautifully sustained piece of comic humiliation, he is forced to accept Cheever's congratulations for having discovered a man of such extraordinary talent. The $20,000 fantasy is dead, the competent employee remains. The discrepancy between what Mooney hoped to gain and what he has actually received becomes the sequence's quietest and most satisfying joke. What elevates the entire movement beyond conventional mistaken identity farce is the consistent dignity accorded to Snowden himself. Frank McHugh never allows the character to become either a pure victim or a knowing manipulator. Snowden accepts the hospitality and the job with genuine gratitude. He performs the work with genuine skill. He registers the eventual revelation of Mooney's motives with a mild surprise that never curdles into bitterness. His presence functions as a moral constant against which the more volatile ambitions of Mooney and the more strategic interventions of Lucy can be measured. The audience's affection for him remains unbroken from the park bench to the final institutional vindication. Lucille Ball's performance continues to operate on multiple levels simultaneously. She is the architect of the original kindness, the manager of Mooney's self-delusion, the protector of Snowden's position, and the amused observer of the entire unfolding spectacle. Ball makes each of these functions visible without ever allowing them to cancel one another. The private satisfaction she takes in Mooney's discomfiture coexists with a genuine investment in Snowden's welfare. The strategic cunning of her earlier advice coexists with a clear-eyed recognition of the ethical ambiguities involved. The result is a portrait of Lucy Carmichael at her most complex and most endearing, a woman whose impulsiveness and calculation, loyalty and self-interest are inextricably bound together in every action. The cultural resonance of the sequence remains significant. In an era increasingly aware of the gap between corporate rhetoric and corporate motive, the spectacle of a banker hiring a man for mercenary reasons, and then being forced to celebrate that man's genuine contribution carries a quiet batic, satirical charge. The series does not belabor the point, it simply allows the situation to unfold according to the logic of character and lets the audience draw its own conclusions. The final image Snowden secure in his position, Mooney forced to accept praise for a hire he now regrets, Lucy quietly victorious, encapsulates the composite's recurring theme that ordinary human competence and ordinary human kindness can, under the right circumstances, outmaneuver even the most determined self-interest. As the Snowden arc reaches its resolution, the narrative has once again demonstrated its gift for converting misunderstanding into revelation and avarice into reluctant justice. The park bench gentleman has become a valued bank employee through a chain of false pretenses that somehow produced a true result. Lucille Ball, Gail Gordon, and Frank McHugh, working with material that respects both the ridiculousness and the recognizability of their characters' motives, have created a sequence that is as warm as it is precisely plotted. The false pretenses have been exposed. The real talent remains. And the audience, thoroughly satisfied by the turn of events, is prepared for the next and final major movement of the composite, the Ottoman, the fall, and the farcical lawsuit that will bring the entire elaborate structure to its chaotic and affectionate conclusion.